Craiger's needs empty walls and overhead lighting. Craiger's in liminal spaces. Welcome to the bad place with Craiger's. Craiger's is the ginger Jesus. Craiger's is the Ozempic Zeus. Craiger's can climb mountains. Craiger's can swim oceans. Craiger's.
Well, here we are, blind Michael Geary, and let me tell you what I'm going to do to you.
No, dummy! You are done! I should have done this long ago, but now is as good as time as any. John, you are the most horrible human being I have ever had the displeasure to meet. You are total trash to everyone who cares for you, and I'm done. You could never be half the man blind Mike Geary is. John, do yourself a favor and head over to blindmike.net and school yourself on someone who is better than you in every possible way. And now, here is your host, a real man, a man who will be around for decades after John no longer walks the earth, the great blind Mike Geary.
That warmed my heart a little bit. I don't appreciate the Army Major exposing my last name, but that's fine. No Stuttering John talk this week.
That was...
Thank God.
I want to talk about it, though, so bad.
Well, maybe a little Stuttering John, but no, we don't have a segment planned around him.
Yeah. Him exposing you is my favorite thing on Twitter.
Well, I figure I was on a show that did it better already this week, you know? Sure. How are we going to top getting hung up on by the FBI?
That's a great point.
Which proves there's no way John sat through that process. I know the man well enough at this point.
He's like, I left a voicemail. They'll call me back.
It is, we are live at 8 a.m., guys. For those of you watching live, we appreciate you getting up early with us. I was going to criticize Craig for swinging his dick around and showing us who's boss. But I guess in these trying times, it's just nice to have someone that knows what 8 a.m. looks like, you know?
That's right. See? Could be worse.
At the crack of dawn. How many alarms did you set to get up today?
2, and there were emergencies. I was up before them.
Oh, good. That's big of you.
I thought so.
That's crime. I mean, we'll talk about it. I think I'm on tomorrow, but that's crazy. The idea that Coleman has to set 50 alarms to get up before 10:30.
It all depends on when you go to bed.
I suppose. Well said. You really always know how to drive it home.
He's got Dickens in his apartment just making stuff.
Yes, that's right.
He stays after
banging away at all hours.
Stays to watch cartoons.
All right. We got a lot to get to, obviously, today. Richard Ojeda has bumped up the list significantly. Usually, maybe we end on Ojeda. Today, I think we're going to open with him, given some of the news happening in the world. Since the intro involved Stuttering John, I will just mention him briefly to give people an update. Like I said, for people that come here just for Stuttering John, we're not talking about him today. But if you haven't heard the KMS segment yet, go listen to it now, because if you want a Stuttering John fix, that was pretty fun to call the FBI and see what kind of response we got. So Stuttering John update is that he's called a truce with Shuli and Carl, that no one talks about families anymore. And they were like, all right, well, we don't talk about your family, so it's fine with us.
I'm going to calm down.
But there's a weird thing happening. He seems to have abandoned the lawsuit. I think my 15 minutes might be up, because He's running away from the FBI thing because he has a lawsuit pending, and now he's trying to cut deals with people. So
Geary.
it's it's very strange. So we're not, like I said, we're not talking about Stuttering John today, other than the 5 minutes we're spending on him here. But I will do this. I'll give you guys a clip. This has been a weekly segment on the show here. I will give you a clip that I am admitting to you right now is a lie. Didn't happen. Nothing close to this happened. It's a lie, but it further exposes how goofy John is. And that's what's strange about all this is like, if John was just like, oh yeah, that's very silly, none of this would be happening. Instead, he's threatening litigation in the FBI. But I will give you guys a lie that you can clip and send to John, and you can chat him and ask about it. Whatever you guys want to do with it is fine by me. So give me a second here.
Boy, did he eat the last one right up. I haven't been on since then.
All right. So the crazy thing, so there's that, and then the crazy thing is that John's doing this thing where he's acting like he's taking the high road by not talking about people's families, and he acts like he stumbled upon that decision all, but he just had a come to Jesus moment. He had an epiphany. What really happened is he had a gag order put on him by his own family, so he can't talk about families anymore. So he's begging Shuli and Lady K and all these people not to discuss his family, because if it keeps coming up on the internet, he gets in legal trouble. Like, he owes a financial penalty. So that's what's crazy about all this is John, and he'll never answer. If you guys ask him about this, he'll never answer it because he's legally not allowed to. That's what's nuts about him being like, we're not talking about family. John's not legally allowed to talk about his own family, which is fucking crazy. And again, that of course is not true, but it doesn't even make any sense. But it's something John will believe. So have fun with it if you like.
I almost broke during that, so I held it together to be like, yeah, he's very serious.
Well, you can interact like a human being.
No. It's like you were telling me, like, the worst news I've ever heard.
Yeah, I understand. That is how we react to John's stuff here.
That's very true.
Yeah. So no John tent for you this week, but we do have plenty of steel toe stuff and get to and other things, as well as the big news that we're about to cover. But first and foremost, go to blindmike.net if you want to support this show. By the way, I apologize to the good people at OJ in the Morning, our friends over there. So go watch them and come back later if you'd like. But OJ and Cardiff do a show at this time. Craig swung his dick around. Craig's had quite a week, by the way, of flexing. Are your muscles tired from all the flexing and pushing me around you've done?
What was the other one? I don't even know.
Craig berating paying customers who on Patreon said this week, Craig, would you mind if you could please find the time to put up the audio? We don't want to bother you. We know you're very busy, but could you put the audio up on and Craig's like, I have kids, assholes. I have fucking time that I need to get to things. And they were like, well, I just mean, like, eventually, even if you could do it now so we could go back and listen. And he's like, I got a lot of shit on my plate, bitch.
That's right up there with your KB impression. And
they were like, oh, hey, man, we don't mean to set you off. We were just asking. And Craig's like, how about a little fucking consideration?
Speaking of this, by the way, anyone that's on Patreon and a member on YouTube, go watch the Quincy that's out for every tier right now because it's unbelievable.
Yes. Oh, yeah. YouTube members can watch Quincy now. I forgot about that.
That one, yes.
That one, anyways. Yeah, so go check that out. It is the best Quincy that we've done. So if you want to become a member, this might be a good week. We also broke down Joe Matarese's meltdown that he had. We're going to get to more Joe Matarese this week. He's back to deleting things. It's a real roller coaster with that fucking guy. But he had a family show up. Joe had a family show up to his stand-up comedy show, a mother and kids. And you would think Martians came down, like Martians landed. And Joe was like, I don't know. This is no time for comedy. I don't know how to handle this. This is a national event that needs to be addressed. It was one of the most bizarre meltdowns. It makes like Lisa Lampanelli look coherent and sane. Pablo Francisco had a good day on stage.
Man,
compared to Joe Matarese.
I forget about that Lisa Lampanelli one a lot.
Well, Pablo Francisco is my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's the funniest one.
What's that, sir?
What's that, sir?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Just constant.
But yeah, become a member if you'd like. Support the show. Like I said, apologies to OJ in the morning, but usually we're on at 10 a.m. So if you want to watch us live, make sure you do that on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. All that stuff helps more people find the show. Support the show for free wherever you get podcasts. And I say this, I've been saying it for months now, it seems like. We're just out of arm's reach of 1,000 on Patreon. So subscribe on YouTube if that platform is easier for you. But if you are considering a Patreon membership, you want to get over the hump there at 1,000 gearheads.
You're as close as we've been right now.
Yeah. We're nearing 1,000 gearheads. And by the way, no one knows my last name. Again, I'm just a big car guy.
Exactly.
So we got to get to the president, the commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump, who, if you haven't heard the news, let's have Shane Gillis tell us what it would look like if Donald Trump got shot.
But back to what I was saying about if you had to, what I said was true. If you had to rank them from least funny to funniest assassination, easy number one. For real, he'd be talking shit like when it happened. He'd be doing like a rally. He'd be like, my opponent's gay. I walked in
kind of.
I said, wow, this guy's gay. The shooter would be coming out and be like, sit down. You're gay. Get hit. He'd definitely make a funny noise into the, like he'd get hit, like,
He kind of nailed it, but we didn't get the noise, unfortunately.
We did not get the noise. He was talking shit about Biden as he got shot.
I mean, this guy.
These numbers are gay.
So it was crazy yesterday because I was visiting family. Me and the skirt were out west and visiting the family. And then when we left, I got a call. I was at dinner and I got a call from my mom. She's like, by the way, right when you guys left, Donald Trump got shot. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And it was funny because you hear the news like cascading around the restaurant. Like every so often we would hear a table be like, did Trump get shot?
Yeah.
And Trump, the reason Mr. Gillis was right is that, or part of the reason he's right, is that Trump is also the funniest president. Not that it's a funny situation, of course, but it's the funniest in the sense that like people don't know how to react, which we're going to watch some of today. We're going to watch people be like, I know I'm supposed to say this is sad, but I've also been begging for the guy's death for 8 years. So I don't know how to react.
Who could you ever be talking about?
I don't know. We're going to get there. We haven't heard his voice yet on the show today, or have we? But I wanted to start by playing a video I'm sure a lot of people have seen at this point, from an eyewitness account. This was on BBC.
Yes.
So this guy, has this been proven? Do we have any more information on this? Like, is this could just be a guy looking for attention? I have no idea. Do we know that this is like confirmed?
This is confirmed.
Confirmed. All right. So this is an eyewitness describing a wild scene at Trump's rally yesterday.
Someone who was here, you weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. So we had a party here all day.
This guy's unbelievable looking.
Greenhouse here.
Describe him to me for the listeners and the blind. What does he look like?
He's got like the John Gruden Trump game visor on,
Love it.
and then the reddest hair you've ever seen. Looks like he licked a power line right before this interview. And
He's just so shocked from what he saw.
And then from like the eyebrows down, he kind of looks like me.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to say this, by the way. I don't know how bit guys do it, like commit to bits, because I tweeted yesterday. I thought it was fitting. After I found out about the shooting, I said, "Has anyone seen Coleman yet?" That was my big joke. He's a liberal cuck. That's funny. He was late yesterday. He didn't show up. Has anyone seen Coleman yet? I'm not saying it's the greatest joke in the world. That was my little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I get one response, and I crumble. I get one guy that goes, Donald Trump gets shot, and Mike's worried about Coleman. Hilarious. And I'm like, guys, but I'm kidding. Don't you get it?
The joke is Coleman's dead on that roof.
I don't know. For Andy Kaufman, Norm, Ari Shafi, all the great bit guys. I don't know how they committed to it, because I get one tweet, and I'm like, no, it's a joke.
I just imagine Coleman laying in the prone position on that roof, dialing in the scope and going for Mamala, and he pulls the trigger.
That would be great.
Hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him.
It was supposed to be a lovely day.
We walked up.
You remember
and
the little troll dolls?
Of course.
That's what his hair looks like.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That wild. Huh?
It's awesome.
5 to 7
He does look
minutes
like my brother,
of
though. It's
speaking
kind of
on
wild.
estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof, and he had a gun. Right?
Hey,
Secret Service.
Anyone gonna do something? Why can I see this?
Clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on.
Get out of here, you prankster.
Chris Tuttle says it looks like he's smoking an exploding novelty cigar. That's exactly. That's kind of exactly right.
There's a cartoon that had something blow up in his face.
Yes.
Right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And
I like the idea of a guy in Dallas. Just, hey, it's Lee Harvey. What's up, buddy? Down here. How you doing, man?
Was he he was in a library, right?
The book depository building.
Like, that guy just really needs to read. Does he know the president's here?
Lee, get down here with the rest of us.
Thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the.
He must have thought he was losing his. He's like, hey, am I fucking crazy?
Am I on drugs?
Is there a guy? You're all gonna think I'm nuts if it's not up there. But I swear to Christ, there's a guy about to shoot Donald Trump.
Arrest me if he's not there, but I'll feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta say something. I know I might cause a riot, but this guy seems like he means business.
Standing there like this, and next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4
He was
minutes.
making some tea. He brought a hot plate for himself. He really set up shop.
They were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here?
Good question, sir.
Place.
See,
It's a great question.
Everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Guy's like, all right, well, I would have handled it with a little more tact than that. But
I saw the picture. He's correct.
yeah, no, he was blown to smithereens.
He was killed real hard.
They shot the guy.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see.
Not to this guy. He's very succinct. He's very matter of fact about it.
He was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, absolutely.
The way this guy's telling the story, like imagine in 63? I think I have the year right.
Yep.
If they were just like, fucking, you're not gonna believe it. Kennedy got shot today. That's crazy. I know, it's nuts. He's very matter of fact about it.
I just looked up there and I was like, guys, you want to look at that guy in that window?
He's gonna shoot the former president.
Yeah,
And next president, by the way.
That's right. I mean, all but locked up.
I mean, that cinched it up. Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but it was a rifle of some
I
sort.
think I'm bullying this British guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Haven't I given you enough information?
What you've just seen.
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Very interesting question.
Right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think.
I like the idea of the Secret Service looking up and being like, well, this guy's got the best seat in the house.
How did he get
Look at him up there. Oh, fuck, he's got a gun.
God damn it. I feel like that was their reaction to when he shot too. They just went, oh.
Hey, pretty righteous seat. Oh, shit.
Dude, it was like a centimeter away from being the craziest day of all time.
So that's what I'm saying. People think that Trump, like I've heard conspiracies that say Trump set this up already coming out. Wouldn't, you'd have to be an incredible shot and hit him in the ear and ensure his head isn't going to be fucking blown off.
And if I think it was an AR-15, if that hit him in the head, his head is going to be, like half on. It's going to.
Now, what are the white supremacists saying about this? What's the conspiracy on your side?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
What are the Nazis saying about it? Come on.
I don't think
scuttlebutt.
So the Alex Jones take?
Sure.
The Alex Jones take is that this was staged by Biden, and then they're going to kill Biden and blame it on Trump supporters.
I did hear that, actually, yeah. So I'm not weighing in on this. This is not a political show. I will say I think it would be way harder for Trump. If it's a conspiracy, I think it would be much harder for Trump to pull it off and get away with it than the other side.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I immediately saw people like, it seems staged. I don't know, a little too good for Trump. It's like, I think it just may not have gone the way other people wanted it to. You know?
This photo I have on the screen of him bleeding from his face with his fist pumped in the
fist up, that's a wild photo. That's a historic photo.
It's the banner on my Twitter now. It's awesome.
Of course it is.
It is awesome. He got up, fist pumped. The crowd went nuts as he got shot. Like, it's crazy. And then, unfortunately, I think it was definitely one guy got shot right in the face, sitting in the bleachers. By the way,
the people that comment on this show whenever we talk about like Ojeda or someone and call us liberal cucks are going to be puzzled by our take on this thing.
Yeah. No, what I do like to see though is now no one gives a shit about hiding their Trump support. especially at Barstool. Have you noticed?
Hell yeah. Oh,
Jersey-
Portnoy?
Did you see Jersey Jerry's tweet last night?
No.
Joe Biden tweeted out, he's like, yeah, thinking of President Trump and blah, blah, blah. And Jersey Jerry's response was, fuck you, pussy.
Well, you know. The days of decorum are over, I suppose.
Oh, man, dude. As soon as I saw he was fine and that fist bump happened, I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life.
That's great. That's pretty badass, I gotta say. I don't use that phrase often.
You can't deny it, dude. Gets shot in front of 30,000 people and then makes them erupt.
Fist bump?
Yeah.
So, you know, this is not a political show. Go to a very good show for that kind of stuff. But I do want to talk about an aspect of this, which is some of the coverage of Donald Trump's shooting, because some people, as much as we may love them here on the program, are a little nutty about this stuff. And put it this way. If at the turn of the century, your entire identity was saying, I think those Twin Towers could use a good remodel, if you know what I'm saying. I think those things should come down. Those two big hunk of bricks should belong in a pile of rubble, if you know what I'm saying. You'd have September 12th would be a tough day for you, you know?
Yep.
A tough day to figure out what your identity is. So our pal Richard Ojeda went live last night at his usual time and was a deer in the headlights. He doesn't know what the fuck. He doesn't know which way is up. And so now he does say, you said, yeah, I saw Obama had, I thought a pretty good, a presidential tweet about it. You said Biden's speech was for him good.
Well, yeah, because he started talking and I went, leave it. I was like, stop now. And that's fine. I thought he was going to start talking about gun control and shit. Like, you know, he tweeted out at noon.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. So he stopped. So I was like, all right, that was good, I guess. But
Sure.
But then he refused to call it an assassination attempt. That was the only thing. I was like, come on, dude.
A misfire.
It's a firecracker gone rogue.
Yeah. Oh, that is one thing before we get into Ojeda. As a gunman, I heard people saying like, "Oh, it sounds like a BB gun. It was staged." True or false?
Nope. It was a fucking AR-15.
Okay. So Richard Ojeda goes live last night, and he wasn't quite as composed as the likes of Obama, and by being a much bigger political figure, in my opinion, Richard Ojeda.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have the same composure and didn't quite know what to do with himself. So he does say, he comes out and says like, "Hey, this is not good. I don't want to see any joking about this on my pages or anything like that." But then he gets into this right here.
Now, I do not believe that this was staged. I don't. I think that somebody who obviously hates Donald Trump showed up at a rally to try to hurt and actually kill him. And that's unacceptable, you know. But I will tell you one thing. I can guarantee you, I bet you.
Like, it's unacceptable. But
I said, oh, okay, all right, Richard. Ah, damn it. That butt came awfully quick. There wasn't a lot of build up to it.
No.
He's like, listen, it was some, you know, terrible guy. Oh, bad seed. But
I
bet you we're going to hear that there were probably no metal detectors because, once again, Donald Trump doesn't like metal detectors. And, you know.
What was he wearing to provoke this man?
This is his size 6 skinny jeans.
Maybe he was asking for it.
Biden literally the day before said we got to put a bullseye on Trump.
Did he really?
It was within the last few days. I think it was the day before though.
I mean, that's like that. No responsibility will be taken from radical Democrats or leftists like Richard, but you have said over and over again, this guy, like, I want to fight this guy in the streets. He should be curb stomped. Like, you have used violent imagery to talk about Trump over and over again. And I know because of the gun control issue and everything, the right is seen as these fucking Neanderthals that just love guns and want to shoot everybody up. But I assume this guy was one of yours. You know, you got to take ownership of this one.
Maybe he should have had metal detectors, and I think that's a question that we need to find out because once again,
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing we should be asking today.
Clearly, this is Trump's fault.
I think the main question on America's mind today is, were there enough metal detectors there?
Biden in the last week. Trump's a sucker and a loser. He raped that woman. We need to put a bullseye on him. I can't believe this happened.
We shouldn't be thinking about the guy who's like, hey, everyone, stop this man. And everyone going, do.
Just like he did on January the 6th.
Oh
the metal detector
God.
hurt me.
Okay.
Remember, everyone? Remember when he was violent? Like, I'm not saying it. You heard me. I was peaceful a minute ago, but he did kind of deserve it.
More people died yesterday than January 6th. Just want to say.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, folks, that's not the smart way to be. And you know, thank goodness to a very, very quick Secret Service response.
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
must be Donald Trump.
Yeah, once they were done waving at the guy.
I said my only thought for them not blowing this guy away immediately is because he was in army fatigues, and there were guys in army fatigues there, so maybe they were like, "Is that one of our guys?" Because this would be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know a fucking thing. I don't know what the response time should be on it. I just think it's very fun to watch Richard be like, "Listen, everything was done exactly as it was supposed to be, except for the fact that there weren't enough metal detectors there because this piece of shit Trump didn't want them." He kind of deserved it, is all I'm saying.
Yesterday was more Trump Biden's fault than January 6th was Trump's. I'll just say that.
All right.
Murdered at a rally. I want Donald Trump to lose at the ballot box.
He does. So he stays on. He keeps saying, and he phrases it. He says lose there, but after that he phrases it specifically like this. He goes, "I want Donald Trump to get beat at the ballot box." He keeps saying it like that over and over again. It's because and you can tell this was the most subdued Richard, because you can tell he's like, beat at the ballot box, but what he's really saying is curb stomp this motherfucker. So what else does Richard have for us?
We got his theories, which are
yeah. So this is the list of possibilities. Like, if you're thinking of suspects, do we know much about this guy yet? I haven't heard his name or anything.
No, they actually for a while they were saying it was this one guy, and obviously it turned out not to be him.
That's always good. I like when they rush that reporting out. You know, we get Adam Lanza's brother. Fucking.
They're like, it's clearly this Antifa guy. It was like this dude who kind of looked. I don't know if you remember the parody account, Rich Mandarin, looked just like that guy.
Okay.
And then it was like some skinny, like.
How great would it have been if they were like, his name is Rich Mandarin. That's the KMS OJ prank call.
Yeah.
Someone just submitted an anonymous tip.
That's the other thing too, is he's talking about metal detectors and everything. And Mike Whipke says this was from outside of the event. Like, even if there were metal detectors, it would have not mattered. It's more like Secret Service be like, that building.
I think it was the metal detectors. I think if we're talking about blame, I think it's actually 99% Trump's fault for not having enough metal detectors, and then 1% the shooter. Well, I'll give 0.5% to the shooter and 0.5% to the gun.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Oh my god, I was thinking of this. Like, Shane could add to his bit now about Trump getting shot. Just how funny it would be to have Trump in your scope. Just get
this guy's killing.
This is not the way to go. And once again, we don't know everything, folks. We don't know who the shooter was. We don't know the details about the shooter.
Right. So Richard, we should probably just wait till we find out, right? We shouldn't speculate at all.
It could be a right-wing psycho.
Yeah, let's just wait. Let's hold off. We don't know who the shooter is. I agree, Richard.
About the shooter. They're going to go through his social media without a doubt. We're going to find out what he really was. This could potentially be a father of some child that may have been preyed on by Epstein. Who knows?
Okay, well, that seems kind of like you're giving him an excuse. Like maybe Trump would have deserved it in that case.
Is it so hard to just be like, this was awful?
I want to know how long you have to think of that. Like, if you're Ojeda, your whole identity is I hate Donald Trump. That's what your existence is.
You hope he dies.
Does it come to you immediately like, oh, we could bring up the Epstein, that like maybe it's a father of one of the Trump's victims on Epstein Island? Because by the way, I'm sure they're very present.
Oh, no shit.
I'm sure Epstein's victims' fathers are very present in their lives. That's probably how they ended up there.
See, like I would have been just as angry yesterday if it was Biden that got shot. Like that's the crazy thing.
Attaboy, Craig.
I would.
America.
I don't like Biden, but he's still the president for 4
You're
more
damn
months.
straight, brother. Red, white, and blue.
Hell yeah.
But not everyone feels that way. Because Ojeda's like, listen, maybe Trump had it coming. Remember, he's done some things,
But it may also be somebody that's absolutely just sick and tired of the hatred that's being spewed. But once again, folks, this is not.
So those are the two options.
Somebody have to check Richard's bank accounts and see if he's transferred money yesterday.
Yeah, to the CIA and the investigators of this situation. You can narrow your search. It is either a father of one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, or just a guy that was taking matters into his own hands for all the things Trump has done.
Or a guy that just, hated Donald Trump.
It's a father of an Epstein victim or just a good Samaritan.
So it makes it impossible at this point for me to be like, this guy's a good guy. It's like, it'll come out that it was a staunch Biden supporter or something like that, trying to kill him because he hates, Trump and everything.
Yeah.
And Richard's going to be like, I get it. Like, he will say something like that.
As a guy that likes Richard, like we like Richard on this program, but I was watching him. Go watch the full episode from last night. It was interesting. The episode was not interesting because he immediately moves off the assassination. He talked about the assassination for 4 or 5 minutes and then got into other Trump-related stories, as we're about to hear.
Right. And there was rumors that Trump was going to be at the UFC fights last night, which would have been unbelievable.
That would have been crazy.
Like, it would have been unbelievable, but no, he didn't.
I would think if you're a political guy, like, I feel bad. Sometimes when things happen with, like, Stuttering John, I'm like, do I even bother getting into other topics? And that's when Stuttering John says he's not selling his house or something,
Right.
Not the president getting shot. I would think when you're a political guy and there's an assassination attempt on the former and probably future president, you would think, you know what? I only do a half-hour show. I should probably spend the entire time talking about this.
Yeah.
But you watch, if you go and watch that episode of Ojeda Live, you watch Richard on the fly think, like, how do I still make Trump evil? And it's a tough position he's in. I feel bad for the guy.
I can't wait to watch like MSNBC and CNN and be like, guys, what's the big deal? He only got shot in the side of his head. Like,
okay. He grazed his ear.
Oh,
are you okay, Donald? You big baby.
Boo-hoo. This is the last clip we have from last night.
Okay, so this is him moving on. This is the broadcast from 2.5 hours, roughly, after Donald Trump got shot.
This is about 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
This was absolutely hilarious to me. And once again, I think it's awesome. Donald Trump has lost his liquor license at both Bedminster and all.
Dude's in the hospital at the moment this is being recorded.
You would think I must have pulled that from the day before or something. You would think there's no way. You got to give Richard credit for this. There's not another show on the planet that was talking about Donald Trump. That's the thing is he didn't even go to other subjects. He moved on to Donald Trump talk and is like, this is hilarious. He lost his liquor license.
Mafia Cow says, I appreciate the spite. I do too, to a degree.
Yeah, there's something about that you got to respect a little bit. But I don't fully though. And I love our boy Richard. He's still the uncle of the Blind Mike Project. But what I would like if he was like, shit, I don't care if that, but I wish that it hit him in the head. What do I care? Then we wouldn't have to deal with that asshole.
Oh my God.
Then I'd be like, you know what, Richard, you stick to your guns.
Yeah, say the bullet
principle.
Say the bullet is a centimeter further to the right.
Yeah.
And we're currently like, yep, Donald Trump's head opened up like a pumpkin getting dropped off a building.
Yeah.
And Richard would be like, well, you know, that's
enough of that.
Anyways, let's talk about how much Marco Rubio sucks.
Let's hear the rest of this.
Golf courses because as of now, he is a convicted felon charged with moral turpitude, which means repulsiveness. He tried to get in on Don Jr.'s name, and that was turned down too. So basically, he realized that.
It's like if Walter Cronkite was like, "We don't know the state of the president right now, but let's remember he had a lot of affairs." I mean, Marilyn. What was Marilyn Monroe singing about? You know.
I was gonna say like JFK gets shot and be like, you know, that's what adulterers get.
Now he's a felon, so instead of using his name, he tries to use Don Jr. But once again, everybody knows who owns the companies, and they caught that and they stopped it real fast. So yeah,
that's minutes into Richard's show. He does a half hour, and then he just went on to like he did memes of the day that are all like Trump is evil. It's like, why would you pick this day? Maybe don't do a show. Just be like put something out and just be like, hey, today's not the day. Like, I'm going to continue to rant about Donald Trump, but today, obviously, given what happened, is not the day for that. Perfectly fine. But Richard goes on and he's like, guys, you're not going to believe this. And the show was titled Breaking News. And he's like, Donald Trump lost his liquor license. Y'all believe that? That's crazy.
Breaking news. He can't serve white Russians anymore.
Oh, Richard. So we have, before this happened, I planned on more Richard Ojeda. So usually we would end with Richard Ojeda, but today he gets bumped up the list. So he also did Benni Loco's show recently. And this is, if you guys don't know Richard Ojeda, if you just happen to be tuning in for the first time, this is what you would get on a regular Ojeda day. It's him and Benni Loco and some other lady, you know, basically riffing on politics. And this is the general vibe from the Army Major.
It bothers me so much that we've got so much going on right now, and all anybody is talking about is the first 30 minutes of the debate that Biden and Trump had, where Biden had issues. You know, I tell you, it sickens me. And now that we're really hearing some really, really bad stuff coming out of the Epstein files, I mean, goodness gracious, to me, that right there should be all that anybody needs to say.
I think one of those girls' fathers is going to try and kill this man.
If that was one of my kids.
He didn't say it there, but I said hold on because I thought this is usually his go-to when he talks about the debate. He goes, Biden struggled for the first 30 minutes or so, and then he pulled it together. And let's not forget, the man had a cold.
That's we do have.
The president can't fight through a cold. And Richard's like, y'all got to remember, the man did have the sniffles. Let's not forget.
Trump is not just a criminal; he's a rapist. Yeah, I mean, he's a pervert
and a pedophile.
He's a pedophile.
Wow, that's good journalism.
He's a pedophile.
That's very responsible. You know, it's clips like that make me understand why the ladies on The View had such a problem with Norm Macdonald.
Wow.
Just say it right out there because truth.
Yeah, just say it.
It's not pretty, but it's the fucking truth. And he needs to be done with. He needs to be in the books, done, dusted.
Oh, interesting.
And incarcerated for the rest of his fucking life.
All right. People can misconstrue that, Benny. just so you know.
We were the three of you yesterday.
It is. It just is wild to hear the way they talk about Trump, and then they're like, "Listen, guys. I mean, to think that you should commit an act of violence on a public official like that, like that's crazy. That's not the way to handle things, you know."
Cynically Insane says crippling dementia is an issue.
Certainly.
Here's the cold clip you were looking for.
Oh, good. Yeah, this is where like Ojeda's like, "Listen, guys. Everyone's obsessing over the debate. I don't really understand why."
I'm really pissed off at people on the Democrat side.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off at George Clooney. I'm pissed off at Rob Reiner. You know, first and foremost, if you've got a problem with Joe Biden, have that shit behind closed doors. Don't
Insane thing to say.
You know, George Clooney, just call up the president and have it behind closed doors.
But not like George Clooney and Rob Reiner have to talk to each other. They Ojeda, do you have a problem with Rob Reiner's Twitter in general? Because every day, I don't know if you've noticed, that guy is giving some opinions. He's quite loud about it.
Just a few times.
Shit out.
But that's what I love about these people is like, the last clip where they're like, he's a pedophile. It's like, and yet they'll call, and I would tend to agree, but they'll be like, QAnon is fucking nuts. Like, those people are crazy. Anyways, Donald Trump's a pedophile, and I'll just say that with no, like, who cares if I'm right or not? I'll just toss it out there.
Public. Point blank, Joe Biden had a rough 30 minutes, but he also had a friggin' cold. The very next day, he come to Raleigh, North Carolina, and he blew it out of the park.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a beacon.
Now, once again,
he was like 2001 Barry Bonds.
No, it's funny though, is the speech he's talking about. The reason he's like, yeah, Biden knocked it out of the park is there's this one clip of him going like, you get knocked down, you get back up, and the crowd goes nuts. It's a nice little clip. And then 2 days later, Trump gets shot down and then gets back up, just eliminating everything.
Let's not forget this man had a cold, though.
That's true. And then he went to Waffle House and he was great.
It'd be great if that he's like, listen, this shooter did something terrible. He was a little under the weather, and research has shown that. That's been proven. He posted on Facebook about feeling a little woozy the day before, so maybe he wasn't in his right mind.
Night before last, when he said he actually called Kamala Harris Donald Trump, was that a mistake? Yes, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake, I suppose. Was it, Richard? Is Donald Trump not the vice president of the United States? I didn't realize.
Vice President Donald Trump.
Sure, it was a mistake. Who among us looks at Kamala Harris and doesn't think it could be Donald Trump?
Now, this is classic Richard.
Okay, good.
You have to block some people on the internet.
Oh, yeah. So this is Richard talking about his and again, this is a man who's saying, like, listen, the message has never been like violence.
Hey, Sue, I blocked a fucking family member today. And I don't give two shits if I ever cross paths with them again. Because let me tell you
Hallelujah.
something. I draw the line.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Said by the Grim Reaper. Hallelujah.
You know, we have a friggin'
RFK Jr. would be like, this lady's got a spooky voice.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to change that to a totalitarian dictatorship can fuck off. I don't give a shit how close you are, how much blood you are to me. I'm sick and tired of friggin' stupid people. And if you think that Donald Trump is fucking just as bad as, if you think that freaking Joe Biden is just as bad as Donald Trump, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Now, to think I'm promoting violence in any way, I just want people that support this man wiped off the planet. Even if you are blood to me, even if I've known you my entire life and your family, and I see you at fucking Thanksgiving, I will wipe you out of my life for voting for this man. But, you know, violence isn't the answer or anything.
This next clip is just like why I can't pretend anymore that I'm like, yeah, he's a great guy.
I liked the Richard that was on with us.
Me too.
And I thought we told Richard that you were a Trump guy, didn't we?
We must not have.
I really thought we did.
Because he would have been like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like he would have exploded, I think.
Guys, go back and watch our interview with Richard. I could have sworn we said he was a Trump guy. And he's like, listen, I don't care who you vote. I might try and change your mind. I thought we had that conversation, but I have to be wrong based on this.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, Donald Trump absolutely. It's not. He doesn't just like.
He's sadistic. He's sadistic.
He loves it.
But this quote is insane.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, the only friggin' book that motherfucker has ever read is Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
And the only speeches that he ever read.
Hold on. Where has that been fact checked?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on, dude. You want us to take you seriously? Don't spew shit like that.
I like the idea of Trump, like, before just thumbing through Mein Kampf, and he's like, 1 second. Just this is the only book I read.
Let me finish this chapter. Yeah, he's like LeBron bringing the Godfather to like pregame
speeches. That's where he got the say it 3 times.
Yeah.
Hitler invented that, the comedy rule of 3.
Yeah,
the guy wasn't. I mean, listen, the guy came up with some things, you know. Volkswagen,
Autobahn.
Fucking Hugo Boss, like they had, and the rule of 3 in comedy. Like the guy has had staying power in society. You got to at least give him that.
Vermin. This is all. These are all fucking things taken from friggin' Adolf Hitler's playbook. You think? Let me tell you something. If Donald Trump would love nothing more than to sit in a room and be able to make this decision, this or this.
Yeah.
This.
What is he doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me.
He's putting his thumb up or down.
Oh. I was like excited to ask because I was like, I can't see what he's doing, but it must be something crazy.
Nope. This.
He's like, this or this. I thought it was like he pulled a gun out or something.
Nope. That'd be actually pretty funny.
Or this.
Yeah.
This or this.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Donald Trump would love it to do this.
Yeah.
He would do this all the time. Because once again, that's one of the things he likes about like Kim Jong-un. Because if anybody even so much as even thinks about
that's true.
Against
I watched that podcast, Rogan. Remember we actually talked about it on the show. Remember the girl that was on Rogan that escaped North Korea?
Yep.
And she was like, worst of all, he smashed the dislike button. And I was like, this guy's a fucking monster. He's thumbs downing over there in North Korea.
I remember, that's the lady that went on with Andrew Schultz, and he just talked about how big her tits were, right?
Yeah, I believe that's her.
Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un will kill the whole fucking family. Do you know that in North Korea, that if you get caught doing something against friggin' North Korea, do you know they'll put your whole fucking damn family in prison? They will take your children.
They will.
And fucking gulags.
Jesus.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Donald Trump wants that kind of power. He wants that kind of power.
I want to go back and be like, how many times did Richard say that's a fact and it just wasn't?
Oh, I mean, exclusively. But what I would always want to ask these people, and I'm probably not. I mean, maybe after that picture, I will, but I'm probably not going to vote for Trump.
I
vote for a third party. You know,
me and all my dead relatives are voting for Trump this year.
I sound off in the comments if you think I'm a real bitch for voting for a third party, guys.
Yeah.
But like my question to Richard would be, you're saying he wants that kind of power. You remember, I'm trying to think of the years. It's tough to, I believe, because no one ever really mentioned it. I believe he was elected in 2016 and then taken out of office. I can't remember the date, but it was early 2021, if I remember right, where Donald Trump was president.
Yeah.
Remember that, right?
January 20th was the last day, 2021.
No, I don't think that's right. Because from what, that's what we think. I think we were brainwashed. Because now, if Trump gets that kind of power, we'll be living in North Korea, where they are big thumbs down guys. I don't know if you people are ready for that, by the way. Living in a thumbs down society?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Thumbs Down Society is the name of the episode, by the way.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
Here's where Richard talks. We did discuss this part of his life when he was young.
Oh yeah, he has a lot of good. This is our favorite part of Richard is anecdotes from when he was a boy.
Well, I was a mean kid, but I was also very hyper. You would have called me ADHD back in those days. And I stood up in the middle of church one time and challenged some fucking fat guy that was poking me with a pen. I said, "Come on, you son of a bitch, let's go." I got one of the biggest beatings of my ass when I got home that day. But
in the middle of church, a guy poked him with a pen, and Richard stands up and goes, "Come on, motherfucker, put up your dukes." I noticed Richard is like he has an odd line that he draws in his head where you heard it there, and he does it a couple other times in this interview, where he's about to say "fuck" or "motherfucker." Maybe it's because it's ladies around. He's a Southern gentleman. He stops himself. He won't curse on this show.
We got a super chat here from Turbo7049, $5.
Okay.
My recollection was that it was a soft quote. Craig's politics don't align with yours. The topic of his predilection for children wasn't brought up either.
Well, that's. I think it's more Craig's behavior doesn't align with mine. His politics are what they are, but then what he does in his free time, like today, guess where he's going? Of course, a child's birthday party.
I'll by myself.
Well, his kids are always like, "Dad, we don't know anyone here. What are we?" And he's like, "Shut up, just blend in." Oh, Dad's taking us cruising again.
Just go pretend like we're in his class.
Come on, guys, be cool, wingman for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna go post up near the pretzels.
Yeah, Craig's pinning the tail on the donkey, trying to act like he's part of the crew.
This is the last Richard clip we have, and he's an absolute fucking psycho.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm driving my father back to West Virginia, and there's this company that builds like log cabin homes, and they got this big sign that says Trump. And my father is sitting in the passenger seat, and he's almost ready to fall asleep. And all of a sudden, I roll my window down.
Hold on, real quick. Richard's father has to be
80 something.
I mean, zeroing in on 80 at least, right? How old's Richard?
I feel like he's got to be zeroing in on 90, probably.
Yeah, Richard could be in his 50s.
That's true. He could just be haggard looking. We'll say
his father's got to be old as shit.
We'll say between 75 and 90.
Sure, somewhere in that range. So he's probably, not looking forward to any loud noises being made in the car. But this is where Richard gives us a peek into what it's like to just live day to day. This is not a character. This is not for the show. This is how Richard behaves in his everyday life. I will say I respect him more than Woke Dad, the guy we covered on WATS.
Mm-hmm.
I do prefer Richard. I'll give him that. But this is just a bizarre way to act in your real life.
Sleep, and all of a sudden I roll my window down and I just start screaming, "Fuck Trump!" My dad wakes up, and of course my dad smiles and laughs about it.
I raised a fucking madman.
He wasn't smiling. He was just having a stroke, so his face changed.
He thought you were the devil. He's like, "Please don't take me yet. I'm not ready to go."
Richard's only 53.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought he was in his 50s. That's still a little younger than I thought.
Maybe it's because he's got the beard right now and it's election season, so he's just not doing well.
Yeah, the Trump era has definitely worn him down. More so than being in Afghanistan. But yeah, it's just hilarious to think of Trump driving around West Virginia or North Carolina or wherever he is now. And if you go there, let's say you go to North Carolina today. I don't know where Richard lives. None of my business. But if you're in the state of North Carolina, there's a chance if you're walking around outside near a road, you could hear someone yelling, Fuck Trump.
Driving a Jeep going 80 and a 40.
That's his horn. Maybe he won't do it today, but maybe he'll wait till Monday.
He's like, I was going to wait to say any of this, but
well, good for Richard. He sticks to his guns. He is who he is. Now we got to get to what I really wanted to get to today,
Yep.
I was much more excited to talk about this. Obviously Trump was big news, so I figured we should start the show with that. But in our world, the big news is Aaron from Steel Toe, who is he's lost it. Like, he's completely lost it. And I said this the other night on Who Are These Socials? Thursdays at 6, if you want to check it out. But I was like, I've seen Carl get shit. I appreciate our viewers and listeners being patient with me. Because I've seen Carl get shit, and maybe it's because he was, like, friendly with Aaron. I don't know. But people were like, boy, Carl was way wrong on Aaron. With me, they have walked me through it. Like I'm taking a training course. Because I come on here every week, and I'm like, guys, Aaron, there's no way he's that bad, right? And they're like, okay, Mike, well, let's walk you through it. He probably did headbutt his wife. These are court documents.
So source your research, please.
And I go, oh, okay. What? I pointed at Aaron and I go, wife beater? And they go, now you get very good, Mike. I'm like, but he said no. He said he no do. And they're like, well, you see, Mike, he's manipulating you. And I go, manipulating? And they're like, pretty close, bud. You're getting there. So I appreciate everyone walking through with baby steps. Because if you read the comments, they're genuinely very nice. They're like, actually, Mike, I think what you're missing. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm almost up to speed now with Aaron. Because for whatever reason, like, maybe he's just got like good enough broadcasting chops on the surface that he has duped me. Like, there was times where I thought the only cringy thing, I thought the goal was cringy.
Mm-hmm.
But remember when I started mentioning it on this show like a year ago, but we never talked about, like we never did a segment about it or anything. Do you remember when I started mentioning it?
We've talked about it a couple times here and there.
But we never spent too much time on it because even I would see the clips and I'm like, that's kind of douchey, but how much time could we have spent on it? But it must have gotten so much worse because now watching him obsess over the goal, I don't know if I'm just seeing clearer, ironically, but it's wild to me.
Someone actually said you're voting blind, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're treating me as I'm handicapped, and I appreciate that.
So you want to go with edgy start to begin here?
Oh, he learned from the best. He's an edgelord, baby, and you see it on his shirt, who he learned it from, which we'll get to. But,
yes.
But this guy, he's a fucking wild man. Watch how he starts his show. In 2024, when you can't say anything, this guy is really pushing the limits.
Gay shit coming, bro. We got gay shit coming. You ready to get fucking gay? You know it. You ready to pull out your
this show's not so bad.
And fucking
yeah, this is, by the way, before we make fun of it too much, it's every episode of a Very Good Show. So go to verygoodshow.org if you thought that was really cool what Aaron just did.
That was pretty nice.
Let's start the show. Wow. Welcome to the program.
I like that. You can tell Aaron doesn't have confidence. I've been there where he is right there before, where he does a bit and then he's like, come on, guy, I'm just messing around. You know me.
Let's start.
Double A, you know me.
The thing that's really bugging me about him watching is he's just constantly looking at himself in the monitor.
Well, we've documented pretty well that he's obsessed with how the show looks.
But it's constant. There's a guy next to him, never looks at him. He's just constantly.
So people say I'm like off center. I'm not framed correctly.
Yeah, it looks like how it always has looked.
Yeah, I remember it just because we're talking about it right now. But it would be like if for weeks I was like, oh, God, should I sit over here or should I move over here this way? What do you think I should do? I'm going to spend the first 40 minutes of the show on this.
Yeah, people always they actually used to give me shit because of the way you're set up. They're like, "Why are you on the left and Mike's on the right?" I'm like,
well, that was a power play. Much like starting at 8:00. That was Craig again pulling his cock out and waving it in my face.
no, because if you look
Think,
at
you see this blind boy?
if you look at the screen right now, it looks like we're looking at each other. It's kind of nice. So I could have make it look like you're looking off screen. You know, what I mean?
That is nice.
It's nice. Just want to clear that one up.
Yeah. All right. So, well, now we've got the tone has been set. We see how cool Aaron is.
He's the coolest.
Fucking aggressive right away.
I get excited over certain intros.
Oh, all right.
I don't know what to say. Speaking of gay, my shoulders and chest look good in this Anthony Cumia full sleeve. You're welcome.
Interesting.
I look fantastic in it. I actually look like I have muscles in my shoulders and chest region. Therefore, I'm going to keep it.
I've never, guys, sound off in the comments. Do you listen to me? Like, clearly, I'm sure I rip off Kirk at times, and like I have crutch words. I'm sure that I've accidentally taken from him, or I'm sure I have plenty of others. But do you guys listen to the show? Like, am I clearly ripping someone off? If so, leave it in the comments because I'm curious who it is. But when I listen to Aaron, I'm like, it's not influence. He's doing an Anthony Cumia impression.
If he
like the cutesy, therefore I'm going to keep it. Like he's trying to do Cumia.
We got gay shit coming, bro. That's pretty original. I kind of
well, yeah. There he's doing Chip Chipperson, but but it is like it's like if right now I went on a rant about what a hack Mark Normand is, which we're about to hear later. But let's continue with some of the steel toe stuff from earlier in the week.
We're getting right into the goal, Mike.
Oh, well, I mean, this is of the utmost importance. And guys, don't forget, you were probably nervous when you tuned in. You guys were like, oh, Jesus, is Mike accepting super chats today? We are, in fact. Like, I don't want you guys to be stressed.
Yeah.
So you can super chat us. But to ease your mind a little bit, you can also subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe on Patreon. I do have Venmo as well, if you'd like to hit that up. So, guys, don't worry. There's plenty of places you can give me money. So stop stressing about it.
2:30 is the number for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the number for tonight goes, if we knock it out, we do 45 minutes of overtime.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Aaron, stop being so good to us.
45.
Quit spoiling us, will you?
If we hit the goal, will you only do 45 minutes?
That's what he should do. I've heard other people suggest this as well. What he should do is, like, if we hit the goal, we'll stop doing the show every day. And then he'd have a 40-minute show.
Yeah.
And then people would be stressed. They're like, I got to get to Aaron to keep him off the internet.
His lawyer would just keep sending him the money. Stop encouraging.
Please. You have made our job unbelievably difficult.
Minutes of overtime if we knock that out, because we still owe you another 15 from yesterday. Someone's saying, oh, it's exactly this many months. It doesn't matter. Bullshit either way. Sorry.
I want to be very clear with this audience.
1972 makes it the same.
I want to be very clear about something. We don't owe you dick. If you don't like what we do on Patreon, unsubscribe. Like you guys are free to do what you want. Aaron is like, listen, we've had them working in the sweatshop for 4 hours a day. We owe them. We owe them this. We have to get to the story about the mother who left her child in the car in Arizona. The people need it, damn it. Like, hey, if you like the show, super chat us if you want to support the show, and then we can keep doing more. If you don't, it's fine, guys. You don't have to. We totally get it. This is not a relationship where I owe you or you owe me, We're not tied to each other in that way.
Look, I know you guys are seething over it. I don't know what to tell you. You guys keep.
Hold on, go back.
Take a break.
I must have missed where he inserted the Trump assassination attempt. What is the nation seething over?
Exactly this many months. It doesn't matter. Bullshit either way. Sorry. It could have happened in 1972. Makes it the same amount of possible. But anyway, look, I know you guys are seething over it. I don't know what to tell you. You
Seething
guys
over what?
That he owes 15 more minutes, I think.
Who's seething?
Some woman has a basement with holes punched in it because their kid didn't get extra 15 minutes of the show.
It's starting to make sense to me now. Whoa, wow. I guess I didn't really realize this. It didn't make any sense at the time. But when I was in Western Mass yesterday, well, actually at the restaurant I was mentioning earlier, we placed our order, and the waitress went, fucking Imholt, 15 minutes. And I was like, what's that, ma'am? She's like, I'll get you your fucking order.
And you were like, I get it.
I was like, that's odd. But then I forgot the nation was seething over Aaron not doing that 15 minutes a day earlier.
Who's trending over Trump yesterday?
Break. Here's
yeah. We'll talk about Trump after we get to Aaron skimping out on his audience.
You guys maybe take a break. Here's maybe what you should do. Take a break and maybe come up with a good plan to get rid of me. Like try something that might work someday or that's a little believable. And then maybe it'll work. You guys retard rage at me. Throw shit at the wall. It doesn't stick. And then you get mad at me when it doesn't stick. Guys, how many times are we going to play this game?
Okay, this is where I'm going to need you guys. You guys know, I just told you, I'm in my learning phase. You're teaching me to walk here. What the fuck is he talking about?
That's a good question.
Who is angry? Like, Patrick Melton and Chad and these guys that cover Steel Toe, and now us, like I've talked about him enough in the last few weeks that I'll lump us in here. Like, I like Aaron making a fool of himself on the internet. I imagine those guys do too. Gives him something to talk about. You know? It gives me a break from fucking Stuttering John when Aaron embarrasses himself like this. Who's trying to run you off the internet, Aaron? This is what I've noticed about this guy is that he has such a, we played a clip where he's like, the three greatest broadcasters in the history of microphones are me, Aaron Imholt, obviously a ridiculous start, Anthony Cumia, which I'll give you that, and Bubba the Love Sponge. And I was like, boy, what a strange almost Mount Rushmore that you've assembled here.
Almost.
But Aaron has such an impression of himself that he thinks like people in their day-to-day life, like I just said, seething. Like the people are, fucking Aaron. The goal! They hit the goal again! God damn it!
You bitch!
Fuck, he's gonna pay Johnny Crutches!
This is Audience Wars.
Oh, well, Craig, as you probably you know when we do this, when we pin the Why You Laughing audience against the Blind Mike Project audience.
Yep.
When we're like, guys, on this, sometimes we'll come on this show and we'll say, guys, are you paying attention, guys? The Why You Laughing audience has been a little more supportive than the Blind Mike Project. You guys should really super chat us now because you want to look better than the Why You Laughing audience, right, guys?
Come on, guys.
It's definitely not the same 80 people.
Guys, I'm sorry, but you're just not the masterminds you think you are. You're easy to toy with. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
They are the easy ones to toy with, Aaron. They have all turned their show into Stuttering John Light because the trolls are going. It's all. This is what the chat has done. I'm referring to, of course, not Aaron.
I got to tell you though, we've got a great show coming up tonight. I love playing around with these people, but we got fans that want to see a good show. The morning show.
Enough bullshit, man. The fans deserve a show, you know? Enough fucking messing around. We gotta get to serious business.
To put you guys on notice, They said, tell the evening show people that we chipped in again. We chipped in $20 to their show. Like, well, the evening show people did like 60 something last night, but okay.
Who hold on. Who's they? Like when he says they said the evening audience, they all at once in unison, like they were singing the happy birthday song, said to you all together now, tell the morning show we gave more money than them.
So he's doing 2 shows a day? Is that what's happening?
Sometimes he does morning shows, and sometimes he does evening shows, and sometimes he does 2 in a day. But the evening show is definitely an entirely different group of people. If there's 4,000 views on one of his episodes in the morning, and 4,000 views on an episode at night, those are 8,000 unique people finding the Steel Toe Show.
When in reality, it's probably like 4.
It's totally different people, and they are at war with each other. You know, it's playful, of course. I mean, it's playful in nature, of course. It's it's like when Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez would fight. You know, the audience is in on the joke, of course, but they do like to rib each other and say, hey, you tell those guys in the morning, you tell those pricks in the morning, we gave more money than them. And then the guys in the morning go, hey, quit busting our chops, evening guys. We're doing our best. Fucking loser.
Morning show audience says they got you guys $20 in, and they think they're hot shit because of it. So do with that what you will.
I like Aaron played it like, listen, I don't have control of what these guys are saying, but here's the skinny. These guys are giving you a little guff. So do with that what you will, guy. Hey, you know what? I think they're just razzing you. I think they're just giving you a hard time. I don't think they mean anything nasty by it. But you guys have fun out there in the comments, okay? They gave you 20 extra bucks today. That means we're a little closer to hitting that goal.
Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, etc.
Oh, good. You've never mentioned that before, Aaron. Where can we donate?
Venmo, etc. 230 is the number.
Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry, Aaron, because I'm going to sound like a fucking asshole here. Oh, are people going to give me shit for this? You accept Venmo?
Isn't that crazy?
Get right the fuck out of here. I had no idea. I've been PayPaling you like a fucking asshole. I much prefer Venmo. I know it's the same company, but I'm just a fucking idiot. I could have been Venmoing you this whole time. Well, suck me sideways.
Are the links pinned to the top of the page? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're terribly welcome. You're so very welcome, Aaron.
Next, we got the guy just loves broadcasting.
Oh, this is a man you can tell who has a passion for broadcasting. He loves talking into a microphone. He loves entertaining an audience. And that's the reason he does this. The only... listen, I'm sure Aaron would love to do it for free.
Right.
The problem is the goal just needs to... Like, the world doesn't keep going if the goal isn't met. Like, I'm pretty sure that Trump shooter would have lived last night if Aaron didn't hit the goal as consistently as he does. So there would be just monsters running around if Aaron doesn't meet the goal. So he would do it for free. He's just, God, he's cursed with meeting this fucking goal.
Maybe if Aaron didn't hit the goal and he was still broadcasting, maybe that guy wouldn't have been on that roof.
That's exactly right. He'd be watching Steel. He'd be so glued to Steel Toe.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I'm a liberal man, but I love Aaron's hot political takes.
When he starts off gay shit coming, I don't like that, but I got to hear what else he's got to say.
It's a little much. It's a little extreme for me. I turn down the edgy meter in my house because it gets a little hot. but yeah, no. So Aaron, you can tell, is just a guy. I wish I could do it for free, but he loves broadcasting more than anything else.
So I'm having a bit of a weird night. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'd like. Knock out the goal. I'll do a 2-hour and 45-minute show. Might take tomorrow night off. I've been looking into the books. Things are good for the old toe. Feeling good about where the toe is at right now.
Looking into the
Might take another night off because, guys, it is too fucking beautiful in Minnesota right now. And not only that, these days are so few and far between for us during a 365-day calendar year. You got to enjoy them. I was outside all day yesterday. I had stuff to do today, like brain damage. So I didn't get outside as much as I would have liked to today. But tomorrow's going to be, if it's not going to storm or anything, it's going to be another outside day, I think, for me. So,
wow.
Wow.
That's two things to me. It sounds like a guy who really enjoys doing the show. But also, I'm so glad he brought us into his weather talk.
Right.
I'm glad, living in Massachusetts, I'm so glad I know, because I look up at the sky and I think, you think Minnesota's seeing that same sun?
I can't be.
I never quite know the answer.
Can't be.
That's what I think too, Craig. I think there's no way. It's got to be a whole different universe. And then he let me in on that. And I think, oh, wow. We're not so different, you and I, Aaron. We both deal with weather.
This next clip. Because like I've always been like, yeah, he seems like you, like at the beginning. I
thought he was fine. Like
yes.
I didn't listen to his show a lot, but I thought he was fine.
Right. This clip here annoyed me.
It proved to me I'm blind in more ways than one.
People think like, oh, Gino and Keanu are abandoning you. If that's the case, half my fucking family right now, or half my friends, or whenever I go somewhere and I hang out with buddies and they're like, don't you dare fucking say my name or talk about this or blah, 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 blah. Yep. Then all of them, I guess, abandon me? No, they just don't want to publicly be tied to me.
Yeah.
I am an edgy guy or whatever. I'm a controversial guy. I always have been. I've never not been a controversial guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who, if you Google me and radio, I'm the most misogynistic, evil, horrible, because I told some fucking jokes that if you told about a fucking guy on the radio would have been totally fine. But remember, women are equal parts super strong badasses, but also very delicate flowers that you should have a double standard for.
We'll bear with us, guys, if you're tuning in and you want to see the earlier part of the show. We're obviously going to take this episode down, edit that part out, and re-upload the video because we can't have that kind of crazy talk on our YouTube channel. That's just so fucking nuts. When he gets edgy like that, that's just so fucking nuts.
And the whole time he's like pantomiming stuff, and he's just staring at the monitor, watching himself do it while he said all that. I hate him.
I've always been an edgy. I remember back when I was in elementary school, and people were like, Aaron, we're gonna be talking history today. Could you sit this one out? Because your takes are so steaming hot. It must be July in Minnesota. It's so hot.
It's gorgeous out there, I hear.
I've always been a controversial guy. Aaron, no one knows who you are. That's why you have to tell your audience to Google you. Like, I would say, Kirk I work with Kirk Minahan. He's a controversial guy. And I know that because he's never once had to tell me that. I've seen the controversies unfold. Dave Portnoy, controversial guy. He hasn't indicated that to me. I've figured it out.
Mike, this is a bad time for me to tell you this, but I'm kind of a controversial guy.
Real? Well, is there a way I could verify that?
Very good show.
Guys, Google Craig Coney pedophile.
Oh, no.
Man, you're right. There are a list of controversies that you have to report to your neighbors.
I beat the charges. Remember Hackright said, or whoever said. Next we have liars.
Oh, you know what I hate, man? Fucking liars.
Aaron's drug addiction with 199 says, Kiki literally just said you're not invited.
Well, I'm sorry. Let me set this up a little better. What's happening now is Aaron is live at the same time as Keanu. Do you know Keanu? Do you know any of this stuff happening with Keanu?
That's Gino Bisconti's wife?
Yeah. Fiance. They're about to get married, which comes up.
Right.
So Keanu Thompson, who I was on Point Double Point with, I've seen her in a limited fashion. She strikes me as funny and down to earth and seems cool. Like I don't know a ton of her. I don't know her comedy at all or anything, but seems fine enough. She was on Aaron's show every Thursday, I guess, for a while. And her and Gino were friends with April and Aaron. They traveled together or something. I think they've done gigs together. I don't really know the full extent of it. But they were friendly. And Keanu wasn't getting responses from April during the whole thing, the whole controversy. He is a controversial guy, I guess. Or the people he's fucking are controversial.
Mm-hmm.
But Keanu wasn't getting a lot of responses from April, so she didn't know what was going on. So she kind of became Team Aaron, even though she would joke on shows. She would call Aaron a dork and things like that. Here's one thing I'll say, and this is just my own personal philosophy, is I do kind of look at it and say, like, oh, well, you probably should have told the guy you weren't doing his show anymore and he wasn't invited to the wedding before you told us about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But she makes a good point. Like, she says Aaron's very manipulative, which I'll explain more about that later. But in the meantime, Aaron and Keanu are broadcasting at the same time, and people are in Aaron's chat like, Jesus, dude, she's done with you. And Aaron's like, guys, you're lying. You're not going to get me. I'm so smart. I'm Aaron Imholt. Come on, guys. I'm not going to fall for this horse shit.
Aaron's drug addiction with 199 says, Kiki literally just said you're not invited. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe you. I don't trust any of you. Packer says, dude, Gino is going on Gavin's network. The Proud Boys, you headbutting a bitch isn't the issue.
I'm glad we can all joke about that now, by the way.
Yeah, how's it? That's
I'm glad we can all laugh about you headbutting your wife. It's good. It's good to heal as a nation.
Super chat from Patrick Ford, $5. Good morning, Gearheads.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. You know what? I take back what I said earlier. Most of you guys don't owe me anything. Patrick did owe me that. He's made a few jokes about me that I didn't care for. And he knows he has to pay the tax. So I appreciate you making that right.
He is so locked in on Stuttering John. It's not even funny, dude.
Yeah. So thank you, Patrick. And that brings us 250 closer to our goal.
We should do a goal day. Next Sunday, goal day.
But even for the bit, I would have to set the goal at like $40. I just don't believe in myself.
Or want to do a 7-hour show.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I didn't go to a Nazi rally, which some people are surprised by.
But Aaron, it's because you're so edgy. We're surprised. We're like, this guy must be a Nazi. That's how edgy he is.
So what happened? Kumia and Gavin merged, and like half of Kumia's people got fired, right? Is that what happened?
I think pretty much all of Kumia's people got fired.
All of Kumia's people?
Yeah, it's a messy situation. I almost sent clips of Anthony. Anthony is the least. I've never seen a man so non-confrontational.
I know.
It's wild. But you remember I sent you clips a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, and you responded that the video was deleted?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that, but it was Garrett from Compound Media on Chrissy Mayer's show, basically saying that Gavin came in and was just totally. Gavin came in and was totally business Gavin.
Ugh.
And was just like, yeah, so all your positions have been deemed redundant. Even Garrett, I know you've been here a long time. You're fired. Bingo, bango, done. After, a lot of them have been there for like 10 years or close to it. And Gavin was just like, yeah, nope, pack your shit and get out of here.
Yes. Yenzen says
Kumia just had like nothing to do with it, I guess.
Gavin offered Gino a fraction of what Kumia was paying.
Which, by the way, I get not keeping most of those shows. But Gavin was like on Kumia's show every week. I'm sure he has some kind of relationship with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I get from a business perspective, I totally understand him being like, yeah, In Hot Water and Chrissy Mayer's show isn't worth it to me.
I feel like Chrissy Mayer's show like makes the rounds though once in a while. I never see.
Well, so he offered them essentially, like the way he phrased it was like commission deals.
Right.
But I think they just didn't want. I think it was just less money, so they didn't want to take it. According to Anthony, it seemed like Anthony was paying these people pretty well. And Gavin was just like, financially, that just doesn't make any sense for me. That's why Compound was losing money, probably. So from a business standpoint, I get it. But it is very shitty as a content guy for Gavin to walk in and be like, yeah, no, we're done here. Just pack your shit and get out. It's like, really? Like, that's how you're going to do it? And then he expected them to keep working and not mention anything on air. Like, it was kind of a crazy way to handle it. But
he doesn't give a shit.
No, yeah. Kind of a shitty way to do it, but.
Yeah.
As Keanu is publicly mocking you, she is going the fuck off. You know I've never lied to you despite being a little shit. Well, we'll see. I don't believe you.
Okay, Aaron.
Should we play Keanu now?
All right, Aaron doesn't believe it, so I guess we should. Keanu, let's hear it, girl. What do you have to say?
It's not because you're too much of a distraction, Aaron. It's because I don't like the things that you've done. I don't like you manipulating us. I don't like the things that I'm hearing. And I hate to do this to yet another person that allegedly abused a woman, but you're no longer a part of our wedding or invited to it at all. So wish you the best, but us not being.
Is that a shot at Kumia?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would have thought the same thing, but no, he's still invited.
On your show had nothing to do with the Compound merger. And you know what? It's just another win for the toe, I guess. Okay. Anyway, that's all. No Minnesota show. No wedding. Not happening. Throw your invitation in the garbage. And that's the long and short of it.
She's just done with this guy. Now, again, I don't know anything about their relationship. I would say, like, for example, like with Craig, if something happened with Craig, like, we can only joke for so long, and the real charges come out, and I have to distance myself and everything. Despite his monstrous tendencies, and despite his children calling me from these birthday parties and being like, God, please, could you just make sure he's on the show at 10 a.m.? We can't be dragged to these things.
Keep him busy.
What are you doing? Why are you letting him out early? Despite all of these things, I would probably at least text Craig privately before doing it on air. But again, that's just me. I'm not telling Keanu how to live her life. And she also did give a good reason.
Yeah, like beating a woman.
She believes the man is a wife beater, which I can't fault her for. But she also said something we're going to be examining today, that Aaron is a bit manipulative. And she said, like, I know if I get on a fucking call with this guy, he's going to tug at my heartstrings and tell me why I'm wrong and all this stuff. And I don't want to be put in that position again. So I do get why Keanu is like, fucking Band-Aid rip. I just got to go on air and say I'm done with this guy. He'll hear about it. Wipe my hands of it. And, like you said, she thinks he beat a woman. So there's also that element of it.
He kind of admitted in the clip we played before.
He's kind of admitted it a few times. but then he calls it horse shit. He's like, oh, it's all, oh, you guys believe these horse shit allegations? And it's, by the way, keep this in mind as we go through these clips. The horseshit allegations, he originally said, I wish I could have April on here to talk about this, because even April, who hates my guts, she would back me up on all of this. Yeah. That's pretty interesting as we go through these, but where are we now?
Abuse.
Okay. And you have those Kumia tweets too, right?
Yeah, do you want those?
No, we'll get to those in a minute. But yeah, let's hear a little more about abuse, because that is the major thing. Keanu says that Aaron is abusive, and Aaron's like, hey, I ain't the only one, baby.
I'm going to say this. I will say this about the Keanu Gino thing. I really want to leave it alone.
Gino.
I wish.
My character.
I just wish there was something I could do to leave it alone. Leave it alone, by the way, to quote the great Opie Hughes. in my heart of hearts, I wish. Let me think here. What could I, Aaron Imholt, do to leave this alone? Huh.
Well, I'm just going to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess the best way to leave it alone would be to talk about it on my podcast. Yes, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll talk about it on the podcast. That's perfect, Aaron. You've done it again. You're a genius.
To the character of others that are in, say, a tough position that I used to be associated with, I will fucking take that comparison every goddamn time. Because
I suspect, and Aaron always... He's very mysterious when he talks about these things. I can never quite read between the lines.
What's he getting?
I suspect he's talking about Nick Rekieta in April. But I mean, who knows? It's so vague.
Stood up and did the right thing while the other people were browbeating us, berating us, psychologically abusing us. But that can't happen to men.
No.
It can't happen to men.
Hold on, I want to get to that. This guy that we just heard was so edgy for talking about women.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to his take on how men have been abused over the years. But I want to take something back that we talked. Remember when I said we talked about Aaron, and I was like, you know what? The one thing I will say is, like, he got the fuck out of that situation. I can understand him being mad at them and kind of taking pride in saying, like, hey, at least I got my shit together. I'm apologizing for having that stance, and I'm wiping it clean. This guy did nothing right. Like, he brought his kids to a fucking drug den and is taking victory laps for not continuing to do it longer than he did. He's like, sure. Did I bring my kids over to a coke and gun-fueled mansion? Did I bring them to our swinging parties? Yeah, I did. But then I stopped after a while. That makes me a pretty great guy, no?
Solid in my book.
At first, I was like, yeah, no, good for him for getting out of there. After the patting himself on the back that he's done, it's like, Aaron, you don't deserve kudos for that. You know how many children I've taken to a drug den? Try and guess the number, Craig. See if you can nail it.
I'm hoping it's under 2.
It's way under 2, man. It's actually 0.
Wow.
I've never, and Craig's brought a few of his dates there, but like his children, he's kept out of that environment.
That's right. Barry Woosa, $10. Sometimes they need, quote, correcting, end quote. Mike Skoll.
Thank you, Barrowusa. You're a Barrowusa.
Let's continue this fucking.
Oh yeah, so let's get to Aaron patting himself on the back for being a mediocre father.
While the other people were browbeating us, berating us, psychologically abusing us, but that can't happen to men.
No.
It can't happen to men that they can be psychologically fucked with. You know,
men can't be abused.
I don't want to
Hold
do
on. Who's saying that?
Go back into a bad.
Aaron is the king of the straw man.
I don't know who this guy is.
Who's saying in 2024? Who's saying that men can't be abused?
Everyone.
Yeah. You know, that very popular... sorry, we'll get to our BetterHelp read in a second. But you know how everyone says that therapy is gay on all these podcasts?
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely not accepted now, Aaron, that men have mental health issues. It's never talked about.
Place, but I wrote her a fucking letter towards the end of our marriage.
Wow.
And I laid out everything I thought I'd done wrong.
Yeah.
Even though most of the shit I was probably mind fucked into thinking I'd done wrong because everybody around me was on fucking blow and drinking all the time.
Whoa.
Definitely.
Hold on, Aaron. Including who?
Not he.
I wish we had game show music while Aaron guessed. Including, all right, Aaron, we've got 3 names for you, and you've got to fill in the 4th. Nick and Kayla Rekieta, April Imholt, and blank were on drugs while children were in the house. Give us that name, Aaron.
I made a fucking list.
Oh, you made a list.
Did I get one iota of anyone else going, here's what I've done wrong. No. Let's talk about it. Because you know what? That's what a healthy couple does. That's what healthy people do. No, I didn't get that. I just got fingers fucking pointed at me and they go, look, here's proof. I'm like, proof? I fucking wrote it and admitted it thinking it would cause...
I wrote it in a letter, damn it! Didn't you hear me? I put quill to paper.
Here's the Anthony clip.
Okay, so Aaron is trying to come to grips with the fact that Keanu and Gino have uninvited him to this wedding. Now, try and disregard the shirt that he's wearing that makes this hysterical. But Anthony, years ago, was arrested for a domestic violence issue. The charges that were, or the allegations that were made, were a little different than what Anthony says happened. He did admit to biting Danny Brandt. He said she was like hitting him in the face and he bit her hand or something like that. And he did admit to it. And he, owned up to it and paid his penance to society. And think you're allowed to think whatever you want of him. If you think that makes him a scumbag or a misunderstood guy, whatever you want to think of him is fine.
It was very funny. That was the time that I was subscribing to Compound too.
Yeah.
And he went on for like 3 months and he's like, yeah, I don't drink anymore. He was in rehab and he couldn't.
He was pretending.
Yeah. And then once that was clear, he was back to the Budweiser.
Bud Lights. Yeah. It was funny back then to think like Dan Soder and Ari Shaffir were like filling in for him when he was in rehab.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Shane Gillis had a show on his network.
I know. It's wild. He's just so separated from that now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Anthony had a situation where like he kind of fessed up to a sin, if you will. He owned up to it. Aaron, on the other hand, said, I didn't, guys, you know me. Still low key with the same old G, Aaron Imholt. I didn't do nothing. If you know me, guys, which all of you do because you watch my show on the internet, you guys know I ain't beating no bitch. So Aaron compares himself to Anthony Cumia here.
Anthony Cumia admitted to biting his girlfriend, but I guess he didn't get this same Keanu episode.
No.
Wearing a Cumia shirt.
It's interesting. Anthony actually abused a woman.
I have if you can't see it, I have a We Might Be Drunk shirt on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if just randomly I was like, fucking Bodega Cat whiskey, people probably get drunk and get behind the wheel, but whatever. I guess that's fine that you support those guys. Fucking Sam Morril supports Amazon that mistreats their workers, but whatever.
And that
fanboying with their shirt on.
Deserve it.
Oh, Johnny, you're incorrigible.
I didn't say that.
Hilarious.
I didn't say that. I'm such a rascal.
He's such a bitch.
Oh, aren't I the worst? So Anthony sees that, and Anthony stayed out of the Steel Toe fray, and he was nice to Steel Toe, went on his show. I told you, the only time I messaged Aaron ever was I thought he did a good job with Cumia. And I was like, oh, maybe this is a show I would want to do one day. Like, I like his broadcast. That's what fooled me, was his interview with Anthony. I think it was maybe during a lot of the Stuttering John stuff, back when he was still talking about Stuttering John. But regardless, like, Anthony's always been good to him. And he was on with Anthony's girlfriend not that long ago. And Missy said something about Aaron. And Aaron was like, oh, Missy, you can say whatever. Girlfriend, you can say whatever you want about me. I've been ripping off your husband. I've made a career ripping off your husband. And Missy was like, that's kind of weird. You're just blatantly ripping him off. But Anthony doesn't say anything about it. And then people start tweeting that clip to Anthony. So do we have Anthony's tweets?
Yeah, it says, oh, brother, really? I haven't even commented on this nonsense. F you. It was nice because it was like the only tweet that didn't have the N-word in it.
That's good. It'd be great if he called Aaron the N-word.
That would have been so funny. And then there was another one. Here it is. Blow it up. Someone says, smart move. Turn on Cumia. What adult?
Yeah.
And Cumia responds and says, right. When everyone was blasting this guy for losing his wife to a cokehead, I didn't say anything. Then he tries throwing me under the bus as a way to take some heat off himself. Fuck that. He's an asshole. And it is funny that this is from his big Twitter account that he has back finally after all these years. So everyone gets to see it.
Well, what's great about it is like Aaron has been a Kumia fanboy to the point where, like I said, he's blatantly ripping him off and admits it, I guess. But like down to his cadence and the little things that he said, he's like clearly trying to be Kumia all the way down to his movie references and stuff. And then to immediately throw that guy under the bus and be like, fucking Kumia's a wife beater, so I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. That's not a manipulative guy at all.
No.
So Aaron starts talking about how he's taking the high road in this situation. And I gotta say, guys, if the high road is this much of a disaster, if traffic is this backed up on the high road, you might as well start taking the low road, because the high road seems like a fucking nightmare.
Yep, this is not manipulative.
No, he's not a manipulative. This is the high road. This is not a manipulative guy. He's mad at Keanu. Keanu said this guy was manipulative. How dare she?
Her wanting you to burn your clam radio shirt made me chuckle, not gonna lie. Oh, is that what she said?
Oh, that, by the way, this guy, he's got a lot of shirts. This is a Gino Bisconte shirt. Clam radio, I guess, is a reference to In Hot Water. So he's destroying his clam radio shirt as well.
I mean, I can if you want. It's falling apart rather rapidly. So, she probably wants me to take this down also. The Gino postcard. She probably wants me to take that down too.
I like that Aaron thinks this is some. Keanu's gonna be like, "What have I done? Oh no!
Oh shit!
He's throwing out our little knickknacks that we've given him. Oh no!"
Yeah, I'm sure whatever Keanu heard, I used to hear that too all the time. Don't worry. I've already heard the speech of what a fucking terrible guy I am. How awful I am. I'll tell you this. I didn't lose 5 kids. Whatever. And that's the other shitty thing about her doing that, is that I don't want to bring those guys up again and start running that shit through the mall.
Oh, you'd hate to. Hold on. Let me go back to the old. Put on my thinking cap again. Let me try and think. How could Aaron avoid bringing up Nick Rekieta's children? Huh. Let me think about this again for a second. He's on a podcast. He's talking. And he has free will. How could he avoid talking about... Listen, I'm no mathematician, but I can't come up with the formula of how he avoids talking about Nick Rekieta and their children. So, Aaron, take it away.
I mean, that's already a sad fucking situation. But, all right.
All right.
Listen, I don't want to talk about their kids, but it's fucking a disgrace what they're doing over there. And again, that's not me commenting on their situation. I just think it's an abortion, quite frankly, what they're doing to those children.
Now, this is the last clip from this show, and it's a long one, but they might have hit a goal or two.
Get out of here. They know you're lying to me. They didn't hit the goal.
A minute and a half to knock out 30. Otherwise, we do also owe you guys that 30 for getting inside of 50. But you know, we always feel more.
I mean, what a sentence.
What does that mean?
Hammering
Hold
out.
on. Can we start this over? If you're telling me this, David Miscavige would be like, "Boy, this is a little culty for me."
Can you make sense of that?
We owe you. Let me hear it again. I'm sorry. We might replay this a few times.
A minute and a half to knock out 30. Otherwise, we do also owe you guys that 30 for getting inside of 50. But you know,
okay, I got it. I think I got it. And you guys, like I said, you've been very gracious in helping me out with the steel toe stuff. I'm learning. So don't rip into me if I'm wrong here. I believe what that means. It's actually kind of sad if I get this right. We are $30 away from hitting the goal, which gets us an extra 30 minutes.
Right.
But even if we don't, we owe you another 30 minutes because we got under $50, which when you get under $50 away from the goal, you get bonus time that he owes you from a previous show. If I got that right, I should be institutionalized. But let's hear it again just to see if that sounds right.
I think you are, so you might have to get ready.
They just come and take me away.
McLean's people just burst through the wall.
I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know what it means. I was kidding.
A minute and a half to knock out 30. Otherwise, we do also owe you guys that 30 for getting inside of 50. But we always feel more comfortable, the prima donnas we are.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let me stretch those legs a little bit. Oh, we're inside $50 now. Now I can really breathe. This is a 2-lane comfort cruise we've got here.
Someone says, Craig, tell Mike that unless we hit the goal, you guys will bring on Hack Ride.
Guys, hurry up!
It's getting hot in here. The devil's close.
We got 30 to be inside of 50, and then we owe you 30 if we're not under 15.
That $30 before we start overtime here. A minute 15. Oh boy, we might have guys.
That's good, Aaron. You know what? Just do an actual countdown. Just have the clock from 24 ticking behind you. And just literally say a minute 15, a minute 14, a minute 13, a minute 12. That should be the end of your show every day. Just really, why skirt around humiliating yourself? And just give up all your dignity.
We might be done. We've got a minute and change left.
Say it ain't so.
With $10, $20 left to go.
Yes.
For this.
Yeah.
$20 away from.
Oh, do I get juiced up for the goal?
$20. Ugh, this is like worst version.
This is like watching Scott Hansen. I'm like, man, this is an intense day of football.
He's got the quad box going of like one ball.
I think when we get under a minute, I think that's Octobox territory.
If he gets the quad box, he's got Venmo, PayPal.
Oh, Craig, don't with that kind of jargon, don't stress these people out because now they're going to be thinking, how do I donate on Quadbox? Don't worry, guys. You can stick to Streamlabs.
That was the other one.
The last couple bucks to throw in and hammer it out tonight. 1 minute to go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, membership.
Say it again, Aaron. We never remember.
Hugh Anonymous says just block their numbers and don't mention them anymore. Unfortunately, it looks like that's kind of what you have to do in those situations.
Is it, Aaron, or is it you keep talking about him every day?
It's like, once you get the money to do the extra time, are you going to be like, I don't want to fucking do the show?
Listen, I deserve shit for doing a whole show where I'm like, guys, this is where we bury Stuttering John. I'm never talking about him again. But at the very least, I didn't keep talking about him while I said we weren't talking about him.
And to be fair, I said the whole time I didn't believe you.
Right. Yes. No one believed me. It was a horse shit act. I was the only one that thought I was serious.
As a matter of fact, I think I predicted you two would do a show together.
Well, it turned the other way, I guess.
Yeah.
But at least I wasn't talking about Stuttering John and going, guys, and remember, we're not going to talk about Stuttering John. Anyways, play this clip, Craig.
Situation I got out of. Yeah, sometimes it's just you got to curate with who's got your back. You know, you got to curate your list of people.
Yep.
Because your brain.
I got to say,
so much toxic.
Johnny Crutches has made me appreciate. You can give Craig all the shit in the world if you'd like. Aaron has the two worst producers or co-hosts or whatever they are. They add literally nothing. Literally, this is not a joke. Aaron will talk about, let's say the story going on with Keanu. And he'll turn to Johnny for some support. And this is Johnny's contribution. I'm not exaggerating or joking. Johnny will literally say, yeah, I haven't paid attention to any of that stuff. I just stay out of it.
It's kind of like me with Stuttering John.
It's a little infuriating, but I don't turn to you for guidance. You know?
Plus, you do enjoy being able to tell me for the first time.
I don't need you to be like, well, for some reason, Aaron needs these guys to be like, no, man, you're a great guy. You know? It would be like if I was saying, hey, Craig, I know you don't pay attention to Stuttering John, but I am pretty neat, right? I am pretty swell.
You're so cool, dude.
And you were like, actually, I have no idea. I don't really know you that well.
I think I've talked to you more than anyone else in my life for the last 3 years.
That is a sad statement, but probably not far off.
Toxicity. And you gotta flush it. It's funny that it went from drugs, guns, and children to, oh, clearly Aaron's the fucking problem.
Yeah, clearly.
It's fascinating.
This guy's not
I've done
manipulative.
a trick before too. It's fine. Again, totally my fault.
Absolutely.
For a guy that says he's like an edgelord, he talks like a real bitch. He talks like he argues the way a woman does.
That's right. Not
He's
that all
like-
women are bitches, but
For a guy that's fucking men can't catch a fucking break in this society. He talks like a real lady. When he's like, oh, okay, I guess, she fucking, she got the kids addicted to crack, but whatever. I guess I'm a fucking asshole. No, it's fine. No, don't even worry. No, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. No, it's fine.
why would you think that?
Why would you think I'm angry? Just because I'm talking totally different than I usually talk?
$10 from, I want to make sure I don't say oh, thank you. Jacob with $10 says internet friends aren't real
I
friends.
get so fucking hard for the goal.
All
Fuck, do I hope we hit it.
It turns into Misery Loves Company.
Mad Gavin dumbed them down. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you. We got 15 seconds left. We got $10 to go for tonight's goal. Kind of a
Let's fucking rally.
symbolic number. It's not really, it's not going to make or break anything, but we've got $10 to go. If you want to throw in, if you guys want to do it $1 at a time, I think that would be hilarious.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Aaron, stop it. Stop it. You son of a bitch.
Just get me the money.
Oh my God.
Whatever you do, just get me the money.
Can you imagine if everyone gave $1? Oh, you rascal, Aaron. You are incorrigible. Craig, you don't seem to be chuckling that hard, but try and picture.
It's so sad.
Let me paint a picture here. Could you imagine if 10 people gave this guy $1? It'd be fucking wild.
I'll quit if that happens.
Oh my God. With all the Trump stuff yesterday, there's a lot of negativity in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say how glad I am that we can still turn to things like the goal when we need a good laugh.
That's right.
Oh man, I'm just thinking, you see, I feel like you're not getting it because it's what you're watching the chat.
I'm watching.
And you see $1 come in from a guy. And then $1 come in from another guy. And that happens 8 Craig, not 1, not 2, 8 more fucking times.
We're gonna need 10 people to super chat us $1 right now, please.
Oh my, no, please don't. I can't take it.
I need a good laugh. So can you guys please?
Thank God I can't see the chat. Frankly, thank God. I'm glad God struck my eyes down. And that I'm not able to see because I'd be laughing for the rest of my life.
$1 at
Yeah, Yenzen says still have Baldwin, Schaub, and Matarese to go. This might be a Melton like marathon show. And we're only we are only halfway through the steel toe stuff.
What time do you have to be out of here?
I can do to noon.
Okay. All right.
time. Oh man, more of them coming in. Yeah, you know what? All right, time's up. We got to go to overtime here. There's $10 left. I would love it if you guys did it a buck at a time. That would be fucking hysterical to me.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Guys.
Packer Backer with $10 says fuck fake friends. All right, well, another win for
Packer, you bitch. That wasn't funny.
The streak is now at 6.
Yeah. We got there. All around America, people are taking 5s off their wall and putting up 6s.
The Green Monster.
Oh, did we get there? That was very exciting. I love the goal.
Me too.
What else do we have?
We got Joe in Virginia. Super chat $5. Casey Day is infinitely greater than Hack Ride. Who's greater than Craig? Sorry, Craigers. Love you guys. Have a great show.
Well, that's all hard to argue, but you know,
that's right.
Craig has his days.
My days. I kill it on Quincy, guys.
Yes, that's true.
So this is a different show now.
Yeah, so this is like a day and change later. They do the night show, and then 2 mornings later, they do this show where Aaron has really had time to drink in his thoughts.
Because, it's funny. Both of the documents didn't come out. Just the one and just the cherry-picked parts that made me look terrible.
Oh, jeez.
Not the one of someone calling a little boy a retard.
Oh, jeez, Aaron. Well, actually, thank God that didn't come out. Because I'm so glad people on the internet aren't calling your child a retard.
It's not fun.
It's actually a little gauche of you to drag that up. But I'm so glad people aren't bringing it up. I mean, except for you, of course. But I'm glad, in general, people aren't mentioning that. I'm glad you're taking the high road, and you, Aaron, are taking all the bullets. You're like, hey, aim them all, just like Stuttering John. Aim your daggers at me, not my family. But my kid's kind of a fucking retard if you read the court documents.
That's right.
That part didn't come out. We didn't get that document where a woman called a small boy a retard, or the clips and everything of somebody talking about masturbating while somebody else dies. We didn't get that part.
Well, Aaron, you told us, like, there's 2 sides to every story, and that we shouldn't trust the court document. Remember when you said that, Aaron? We shouldn't trust the court documents. You remember that, right? Anyone that knows you would know that that's all bullshit. You, Aaron, am I misremembering? I could have sworn you said we'd all be fucking idiots if we believed the court documents. This, to me, was the D'Elia apology. Remember, like, the D'Elia apology moment for me, for those of you that are newer to the program, I defended Chris D'Elia.
We did.
At one time, I did say some of these accusations seem kind of flimsy. Seem like we're getting, one side of the story because other messages were getting deleted and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know about this. And then Chris D'Elia released his apology. And I was like, oh, he's guilty of something. Because
Right.
this is very weird.
It was when he shit his pants when he found out that you could save Snapchats.
Well, that was bad, but that's not when I turned. It was the apology when he's like, guys, you know what? You nailed me. I cheated on my wife. And I was like, oh, well, that's not what anyone's mad about.
No one actually cares, and we all assumed that, actually.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck that, like, a comedian that is only famous because he's handsome
I'd be damned
is cheating on his wife.
But don't worry,
Whoa, hold on, Aaron. Jesus. I'm not done shitting on you. But the problem with that is Aaron told all of us, like, hey, these court documents are bullshit. But now he's stopped saying, like, I'm innocent. Now what he's saying is, sure, I headbutted my wife, but she called a kid a mean name. We both have faults, do we not? Lest ye cast the first stone.
Or devastating. But don't worry, I'm the sociopath. I'm the manipulator.
Yeah, no, you're literally doing it right now.
I understand. I got it. It's just
Oh, I guess I'm manipulative. Yeah, no, you're doing it right now.
Right.
That's like saying, yeah, Craig, I'm really sarcastic. Gotcha.
I am so cool.
I'm a fucking wise ass. Okay, loud and clear.
Strange Land, $2. Towards the goal, overtime coming up.
Oh, it's not quite as funny as $1, but it's still pretty hysterical.
Not quite as funny. And fun, okay, $10. Looking forward to your Why You Laughing episode on the Stangles. Hint, hint.
Oh yeah, someone mentioned that to me on Patreon. I had totally forgotten about that, but that's a good idea for a bonus episode. When the Stangles worked for Opie.
Right.
And how that all blew up. But check that out on Patreon or YouTube members. Yeah, that's the point. We're probably going to do bonus content today. And based on Craig's reading of the chat, we ain't nowhere near that fucking goal. So
we aren't. Come on, guys, hit the goal.
Come on, guys, let's start a rally. Turn your caps inside out.
We have to hit 230 or 10 $1 super chats in a row.
Yep. Those are the two.
if someone super chats more than $1, it starts over back at 1.
I'm gonna piss my pants if people super chat $10 in a row. Oh, am I gonna laugh?
Here's Aaron talking about moving on.
He never explained why he thought it would be so funny, by the way.
It's like it was him just going, please.
It'd be really funny if you guys super chatted. Why? Anyways, moving on.
$2, or I'm sorry, $10 from Aaron's period pill. Says, I'd rather have you go back to the good old days, leave this shit off the air. I get it. You have shit you want to get off your chest and answer questions. Just my thoughts. Well, I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think that's the route I'm going.
Yeah.
Is that I'm going to.
When I said we should all blame April and call her a twat, that's what I meant. I'm moving on.
Feelings are hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel stabbed in the back. And I feel lied to, but on we go.
Oh my God. We got all right. So I gotta be honest, we got 2 $1 super chats in a row, and they're fucking hilarious.
Oh, nice. You guys are real characters.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, 8 more and we'll end the show. So you just heard what he just said. This is 17 seconds later.
Yeah, so listen, guys. Don't even try. Save your super chats trying to get him to talk about Gino and Keanu and April and Nick. He has moved on. What don't you get about that? The man is moving. He's trying to pick up the pieces and move on with his life, for fuck's sake. Anyways, let's fast forward. Don't hit that skip ahead button twice, Craig.
All right, so
because I don't want to miss any of this.
So we got 3 $1 super chats in a row, and Patrick Ford ruined it.
You bitch! You humorless asshole!
He gave us $2 and said $2 is twice as funny as $1.
No, you don't get comedy, Patrick.
Now we're gonna start over.
Oh, I was so ready to laugh.
I did see a lot of people, and I got a lot of texts and messages from people saying, wow, that was cowardly. That was chicken shit. That was this and that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Other people were saying that.
They're all wrong.
Listen, I'm moving on, but these people won't stop texting me about how cowardly it was.
Chose to do. If other people perceive it as cowardly and chicken shit, that's fine.
Hey, I'm just a man. I can't control you thinking of them as cowardly. I'm just a guy.
Into it at all, but I don't know what we're talking about here, because I got done.
What a useless asshole. You guys think Craig is bad? At least he pretends to be interested in some of these.
I am interested.
What a useless sack of shit this guy is. I don't know what we're talking about.
We're back up to 3.
All right, guys, keep that streak going, baby.
If you want the show to end, get it to 10.
Social life so busy last night. I got to bed late.
Oh yeah, Keanu just completely fucking eviscerated me yesterday. I'm the biggest piece of shit. I'm a dork who's not funny. Who throws?
Yeah. But you're moving on, remember? So let's just get to the next topic, I guess.
He really hasn't said anything that I've ever laughed at.
Well, he's going to get there in a second, Craig. Once he moves on, he's moving on from this Keanu thing. I get he has to wrap up his sentence here, but he's definitely going to move past all this ugliness.
I'm a pretty easy laugh too.
Right.
He's worse than Nick. Yeah, April just probably text her with the same fucking brainwash bullshit that I used to.
Okay, but you're moving on, so
you're moving on, dude.
Yeah, remember from a few seconds ago? 17 seconds later. He's like, guys, you don't even have to keep telling me to move on. I'm already doing it. Anyways, these fucking criminals that were abusing my children.
This is a response from Ant here.
A response from Ant?
A response to Ant, sorry. My fault.
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is, like I said, a day later after he saw Anthony's tweets and everything. This is him addressing those.
I think Cardiff show's over. There's a lot of potatoes in the chat right now.
Good, it's about time. Thank you, guys.
Buck says Kumia was trashing you on X. Any response? He hates you. Well, look, he's team Keanu and Gino. I mean, why wouldn't he get their back? He got mad.
Did he completely forget that he said what he said?
He that's what he does. He is a manipulator. He's a manipulative guy, which is what I'm realizing. Where he's like, well guys, I ain't never done nothing wrong, but you can have your opinions. It's fine.
Because I made the comparison. I'm like, so you get the word that I might be an abuser guy. And I just made the comparison. Anthony admitted to biting a woman. I mean,
yes. So Anthony admitted to what he did, which was much more mild than what you're accused of. And they think you did that. They think you headbutted a woman, which is much different than what Anthony has talked about openly in the past. And also you're lying and calling April and your ex-wife a liar, essentially.
Apples to apples comparison. I didn't. I deny it. It didn't happen. I never fucking headbutted or choked anybody. He admitted to this other thing. All I'm saying is one gets a pass, one's a piece of shit. If that upsets him, that's fine. That's okay. That is a legitimate question. That, by the way, I understand why they're upset. There's no fucking good answer to it.
Well, sure there is. They know Anthony, and they don't believe he did, he did something wrong, but not to the degree that you did. That'd be the answer, I imagine.
They're like, why don't I get past? Like, you're panicking and you're throwing everyone around you under the bus.
Also, regardless of what the public thinks of what Anthony did, they know him better and like him, and they don't particularly like you. They actually don't need to explain to me why Anthony Cumia is invited to their wedding. It's not my fucking business.
No. They explain why we're not invited. More like it.
Damn straight. Can I tell you something funny?
Mm-hmm.
When I was on Devil Point with Keanu, at the end of the show, she goes, "Hey, would you do my show sometime?" And it was the only time I ever interacted with her, so I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure, anytime." I didn't know she knew who and then it dawned on me. I never heard from her or anything. I was like, I think she thinks I'm the other Blind Mike.
From Legion Sky?
Yeah, from Gas Digital. Because I was like, why would she invite me? She wouldn't. And I was like, oh, she's done Gas Digital. She probably thinks I'm the other guy. It's like, God damn it, yet again.
All right, we need the whole chat. Everyone get Mike on Keanu's show.
Sure. It's very important.
This next one is Aaron reading a letter.
Oh, so we talked about that. I think Casey was on when we talked about this, but his child wrote him a letter. And it really, it really choked him up. I mean, he could barely talk about it. But you guys didn't quite give him enough sympathy for just talking about the letter. So now he has to read. Maybe that didn't tug at your heartstrings, you soulless monsters. Maybe this will.
Dear Dad, I love you so much, and I care about you.
I remember being 10. Kids always just write their parents this, just out of the clear blue sky.
We're at 5 $1 super chats in a row. We're 5 away from ending.
Come on, I'm trying to make a point here, Craig. Don't tickle me like that.
Just don't be on your phone, and don't be on your desk. We don't want to remember.
I'm sorry, Aaron. Where are you reading this letter? Your child said, don't be on your phone. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to take this letter to the internet. Hey, Dad, please stop obsessing over the fucking computer. Daughter, message received loud and clear. To Steel Toe.
As a dad who was sad, stay off it and remember, I love you so much. Jesus loves you. Your daughter. I love Dad. Charlotte. And she put these little stickers in there. She
OMG, that's so cute.
It's adorable. Drew P balls, $5, ruining the streak.
Oh, fuck you, man. It would have been so fucking funny.
Would have been the funniest thing ever.
Oh, these guys and their goddamn generosity.
With her that day because she knew I was having a tough time. And one of them is Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. And the other one is from Isaiah 43:2. When you go through deep waters, I will be with you. And that's from a fucking 10-year-old. That's
no. Actually, it isn't, Darren.
I think
It's from the Bible. You put Bible verses in there.
I have a feeling he wrote that letter.
It was very annoying before the show because Craig had his fucking kids in the studio before and he's getting them all situated. But I sat here, so I don't even know if Craig knows I heard this. But Craig was like, "All right, buddy, I'm going to record. I'll be out in a few hours." And his son goes, "All right, Dad." And you know, like I always say, letter from Joseph to the Corinthians. Thy shall not covet thy neighbor's wife. And I was like, oh, that's your kids are always just being kids, aren't they?
You know what kids do. All those kids that loved CCD.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things.
The kid's very excited.
That just snapped me right out of a lot of this bad shit. And you just kind of, you're better than that.
I didn't quite snap you out.
You're better than that.
Oh, you're so much better than that, man. Except your entire show is about it.
Come on. You're trashing April.
It's like if I said I was better than talking about Steel Toe. Like, you know, I know Carl and Patrick Melton and these guys are doing it, but I'm just so much better than them. Anyways, next clip's about manipulation.
Oh, man. What a fucking beautiful note.
This guy's
Next, we got all hands on deck.
Guys, the goal is coming up again. Which is a good reminder, guys. Keep super chatting us $1 at a time to make me piss myself.
140 away from today's goal. There we go, guys. A little bit closer. Grand Poobah has started the rally. Who's going to keep it going? $140 away from victory. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Right, we got time. At least I can breathe a little bit.
Mike, Eric LeBaron just sent us $1.01. Does that count?
Oh, you bitch. He just doesn't get comedy.
He doesn't get what's funny.
And
it's, by the way, it's definitely not funnier to have us miss the goal that we're going for. That's definitely not funnier of him to do. I'll point that out.
From going home, 140 away from going home to overtime. I guess 5 minutes away from being sent home early today.
There's all this math we have to do to watch Steel Toe's show. Come on, I'm just a regular schnook. Can't I just watch?
I don't get it.
We're under 50 and I'm 30 away and there's 140 and we're 5 minutes and $1 at a time equals $10. There's too many goddamn numbers.
Hack Ride leading by example with $1 super sticker.
Okay. I've always said that Hack Ride is a silly goose.
140 is the number. We have 4.5 minutes.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
Go ahead and throw in. All the links are in the chat.
Oh, God.
What are they?
Everybody throw. We need everybody. This isn't like this isn't a one person thing. This is
we're not fucking around here, guys.
We need everybody.
Guys, this is wake up your relatives. Wake up dead relatives. We need fucking everybody.
Everybody. Getting close.
What do we got?
Getting close.
All right, are we gonna hit the goal?
135.
Oh,
away from.
All right, that's $5 closer.
4 minutes left. 4 minutes to go. 3.5 minutes to go. I'm sorry.
Aaron, at a time like this, you cannot make mistakes like that. I thought we had an extra 30 seconds.
2 shows in a row, he said 4 minutes. Wait, I mean 3.5.
Oh, Aaron, these are critical errors.
Mom, Christopher Ullman, Mom, the toe needs you.
It's mistakes like that, Aaron, that get fucking Trump shot. Millimeters off.
You send people home early. They got nothing else to do but to go shoot the president.
You're damn straight. Oh my God. We only have 3.5 minutes left. Stop toying with us like that, Aaron.
3.5 minutes to go until we fucking lose our 6-show streak.
Don't even joke about it.
We can knock it out.
He's spoken into existence. What's he thinking?
Oh, this is like a perfect game. You don't mention it.
We got more people to read as well. More messages coming in. Thank you guys.
All right, that gives me a little
bit.
So if there's still people there, that's good.
That gives me some solace.
But right now, we've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go.
The time is going so fast.
Going right now. So we
am I in Interstellar? What's happening?
And if you feel like chipping in, you got an extra $20 laying around, throw it at the toe. Let's knock out that last 135 today.
Let's.
Zumach says, I kind of missed the music. Well, Zumach took it. Nothing I can do. All right, 2.5 minutes to go, guys.
How is time moving this fast?
That clip is 53 seconds, and I want to say like 4 minutes went by.
How's that possible?
Oh, Big W, dollar. We got two in a row.
That's hysterical, guys. Keep it up.
We're gonna do this.
We're gonna get fucking 400 super chats today and make $400.
Super bigger.
I'm sorry.
That's the next title of the clip.
I'm sure it'll make sense in a few minutes.
Guys, 2.5 minutes to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know what it is. Beggar.
Oh. Okay.
a typo.
Is up because I'm shouting and rattling cans and in super beggar mode today. Even though you guys got within striking distance before, we kind of set this up perfectly today.
Within striking. Listen to this talk.
Striking.
It really is like this is how they talked about getting Bin Laden. Like we just need to get our men close enough. Within striking distance. We've really set ourselves up in a nice position for this.
Well, what's the difference between Bin Laden and this? I couldn't tell.
Well, this
you.
is way more important, obviously. Bin Laden was like 10 years later. Who even gave a fuck by that point?
And there's a ton of controversy around Bin Laden. Who actually killed him?
The goal is pressing. Like, if we had gotten Bin Laden in October of 2001, sure, that'd be something. We got him like 10 years later. Like, who even really gave a fuck? The goal every day is 9/11. Every day is fucking 8:45 on September 11th, 2001.
It is a nice day out.
And we have the power. We're in Logan Airport, and we could stop these fucking planes from going out.
So I went to Vegas. I tell you, through Logan, I got like 5 razor blades to Vegas. I didn't know they were. Yeah, for my razor. I didn't realize it was in my toiletry bag.
Did I tell you, I saw David Tell last year at the Wilbur,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a joke. He goes, "Boy, I always love coming to Boston. Boston crowds are unbelievable." He goes, "I actually worked in Boston early in my career. I worked at 20 some odd years ago. I worked at Logan Airport, and I committed. I said, one day, I'll win this town's love back." He did it better than I did, but it was very funny.
Rally we're used to knock the rest of this out. Okay, 2 and change left to go. I'm going to keep putting the links in the chat. You're going to throw
Please, Aaron, please make it a little easier on us. Thank you.
Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Steel Toe.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Crap.
Now I'm understanding. Okay. So he's on Streamlabs. That much we know.
Yep.
And then he's not on PayPal, right?
Yep.
He's not?
He might be, but he's just focused on Streamlabs and Venmo.
Okay, so we'll put PayPal as a maybe. He is on Venmo, you said.
Yeah, I know for sure.
Okay, thank you. Could someone check and make sure he's on PayPal, please? Because I would love to give him money on Streamlabs, Venmo, and PayPal. I'd love to send all 3. You know, it'd be hysterical. If I sent this cocksucker $1 on each platform.
Big W doesn't get comedy. Sent $2.
Oh, you bitch! You humorless bitch!
How does he not get it?
Super chats, memberships, Rumble rants.
Whoa. I gotta get my pen back out.
Oh, you were telling me, right? Like he goes like 30 minutes extra on Rumble and he says what he can't say on YouTube.
Get my pen out. He takes Rumble Rants. Now that's interesting. I'm going to write down, because you know what would be nice? If every day I could pay on a different platform. I would really like it if one day, because you know me, I'm kind of I can't be tied down.
No.
Some days I like to pay in Rumble Rants and whatever the fuck that is. And some days I like to gift memberships,
That's understandable.
That's the kind of freewheeling guy I am.
Super chats, memberships, Rumble Rants. Do something. 2 minutes.
Born children.
I think that's Johnny, or whichever one that is. Johnny Crutches or the other guy being like, guys, here's a wink and a nod. I'm aware of how ridiculous this is.
Yeah.
I'm aware this is humiliating.
Mike, we got finished for the ages.
Oh, come on. Come on. Tell me he hits that fucking goal.
All right, guys, we're inside of 2 minutes left. We need someone to make a move.
Oh my God, this is
people making moves.
This is crunch time.
This is an embarrassing L.
Yep, it sure is.
After a great show and some really interesting stuff. 1.5
minutes. Aaron, after a
in.
great show where you talked about interesting stuff, you're absolutely right. This is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing you guys didn't pay me.
You've never been more right. There is embarrassment happening at the end of your show. Maybe we have different reasons as to why. Who am I to dissect that?
If you can Nick at Night with a Discord link. I'm not a Discord guy, so I don't know how to say that link. But it's there in YouTube chat. $1.99. Thank you, buddy, for all of the contributions you've been giving us today. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go.
Oh my God.
$20 from Neil. Thank you.
Yes! Neil!
All right,
Thank
guys,
God for
we're
Neil.
not far away.
Oh, Neil, you son of a bitch.
115 is the number. Not too much now. A few more of you chipping in the same way, and we got this thing. 1 minute left. We need a battle of Alex Joneses is what we need.
Nick West, $2.
Or we need
Goal,
Oli
goal,
and just
goal.
throwing in a couple of bucks. 115 is the number. We've got 40 seconds left.
Can we get 115 before this clip ends?
Not looking good for the shouty, yelly guy over here.
115.
The
ball is in Ray Allen's hands.
30 seconds to go. It's usually so easy knocking out these goals.
Come on!
This is a rough one today. 115. This one, I hate the ones that sneak up on you when all
I
day-
know. Don't you hate it, Craig?
It's the fucking worst.
115
Hold
away.
on, pause real quick, because I just want to. I get chills. Kind of. It's like when someone talks about like scraping their teeth or something. Oh, I don't even like thinking about when the goal sneaks up on you like that. And you're like, oh man, we were cruising, having a good show. I could have sworn we were under 100, but sure enough, the listeners owe us $115.
Guys, Dang Lizard just sent us £1. We got
quick, convert that.
We got a minute left in this clip. We need to get 9 more $1 in a row. It'd be so funny.
Someone do the conversion rate. That could be anything.
Keep barking at you until I run out of time. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, get in there. Let's
Mikey's got PayPal.
do this.
Yes!
Chip in. 115 is the number. We've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is like fucking Kevin Dyson in the Titans-Rams Super Bowl.
He's 1 yard short.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. I got a fake dono. This is from Alex Jones.
That person should be shot. Don't you dare fake donate in crunch time, you piece of shit.
Days.
We're getting $1.15 now. Super chat.
No.
It's grass.
Well, they're celebrating the 115, I think.
That's true.
Well, guys, $100 just came in from Alex.
Yes! Woo! Oh my God, we did. Confetti comes down.
Hold haters, but now
anything
we're
is
15 away.
possible.
There it is.
Hold on, go back a little bit. Did he say sorry, haters?
That's what it sounded like.
Hear that again.
Well, guys, $100 just came in from Alex Jones, number one.
We're 15 away from nothing.
Sorry I had to put your disappointment on hold, haters, but now we're 15 away.
Aaron, don't worry about it.
There it is.
The excitement. Hey, the privilege was all on this side of the table, my friend. The excitement you provided me.
Few dollars in. We're doing an extra half hour today.
Does Aaron think the haters
knock it out
are saying, I hate how much this guy hits the goal?
Anything over goes to tomorrow morning because we will not be on tonight.
What's important?
Taking the night off due to the really, really nice weather. All right.
Got it. We know how nice it is in Minnesota.
It's like, did I mention this before?
It's fucking July. We understand. It's nice weather.
So there's one more steel toe clip. Is stepmother.
Oh yeah. So this is Aaron. Remember, he's taking the high road. This is a day or two later. Boy, that high road.
It's awful low.
Does Aaron do traffic on his show? Because there's a pile up.
But he said, Keanu said that you're a piece of shit for taking your kids there. Yes, I am. I admitted that and said it was wrong.
Oh, good.
You do understand that their stepmother was just as responsible.
No.
Because, well, she's just a stepmom.
Absolutely not.
Not how it works.
The stepmom was, now you could say she's responsible, and that was a shitty thing of her to do. But as responsible, absolutely. I'm lucky to have a great stepdad. He's been very good to me. Mm-hmm. Didn't have to be. It was not his goal to fall in love with a woman who happened to have kids from some other asshole's ball bag. It's certainly not his. If I went down the wrong path, he would not be to blame. So Aaron, I don't know if it's just as much April's fault, who knew these kids for 5 years total and probably will never see them again. I don't know if you can blame her for their upbringing as much as, I don't know, their dad.
When you decide to be a stepmom, you take on responsibility for those children.
That's not how.
Well, no, I mean, sort of, yes, but not entirely.
Maybe once in a while you make them like a sandwich if you have to like go out or something.
Yeah, you teach them a life lesson every once in a while. You pick them up from school, sure. You're not the one. Listen, if you're a step parent, you probably should say, "Hey, we shouldn't bring these kids to a drug den." But if you decide not to say that as a step parent, I would suggest the burden falls on the father.
Who's there?
Not only shouldn't we, we won't.
But Mike, what you're not thinking of is like it's going to be like a really sick time.
And I don't know what the weather was when they were over there.
It was probably snowing. It was probably terrible.
Right. So you got to stay inside at that point, you know.
Right. The kids need to get out of the house and go to a different one.
Right.
Would have had the kids there and I wasn't there. Guess what? I'd still lose the kids because the stepmother is considered a form of guardian parent.
Well, luckily, both of you brought them there. Thank God they had two adults to bring them to a drug den. This is the clip that actually made me just totally turn on Aaron, where I was like, because originally I was like, I've heard Carl and other people say like Aaron's a dork, which is true.
Yeah.
But referring to like the swinging and drugs and stuff. They're like, they were having a good time, and Aaron's a dork who was killing their buzz. And I was like, well, that's kind of shit. Like, he has fucking kids. He does have to be more responsible. And then I heard this clip, and I was like, oh, he's just a piece of shit. He wanted his cake and to eat it too, so to speak. He wanted his coke and to snort it too. Because he wanted to do the drugs and the swinging, and then be like, I'm so much more responsible than these people.
Hackride says, my stepdad sucks.
Yeah, well, you know what? Every problem in your life is actually his fault, Hackride.
He took the kids there. Hey, sweetheart, you knew about that. I said it openly in front of God and everybody, admitted all my sins.
Hello, Aaron.
The whole thing.
This is God. I know I shouldn't have to say this to you, But don't bring your kids to the crack house.
Unless you're a pussy.
Unless you want a really sexy time. God, signing off.
The person you think is such an angelic truth teller.
I like that Aaron's such a egomaniac that he thinks God is watching Steel Toe. I hope he hits the goal today.
Understand
How's
where
my
the
God impression?
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
outrage over that comes. Like I said, fixed my mistakes, admitted them, learned, and got better.
Actually, you didn't.
You're
Fixing
right.
your mistakes, and it's hard to really decipher. Fixing your mistakes will be the work of a therapist for your child years down the road.
Oh, for sure.
Problems they don't even realize they have right now.
It's all your fault.
Because they were going without food in a drug den. So I don't know if you fixed your mistakes. You admitted to them, some of them. You admitted to some of your mistakes. Fixing them is going to take a little more than 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'd say. Where to now?
Oh, that's it.
That was it.
That's our Steel Toe coverage. I gotta say, I love, even if Aaron gets boring and like the drama dries up, I could do a goal segment every week
Oh yeah.
where we watch the goal get hit.
Oh come on, hit $1.
Oh, I mean that's more intense than the fucking March Madness. That was crazy.
You're not wrong there.
Let's real quick do. You know what? Let's do Matarese first, and then we'll see what time it is because I do want to do Matarese.
A man on the brink.
Yeah. So Joe Matarese.
This
has
was
been going live, and do you know if he deleted all of his lives recently, or just this one?
I know it's just this one. I can check.
So he's been doing these lives from Atlantic City late at night, and it's just him talking to the 10 people in the chat. And Hackride actually sent me this one with no text or anything. I thought maybe he was just saying like, "Hey, Matarese posted for the first time in a while." I'm watching the video, and it takes a while. He doesn't talk for a while, and I'm like, oh, "Does anything even happen here?" And then, sure enough, Joe Matarese is able to come up.
Whoops.
What was that?
I'm checking to see if his lives are up. He has one from 3 days ago.
Oh, interesting.
At Brigantine Beach.
But he deleted this one.
He deleted this one.
Oh, that means he deleted another one. If that one's the most recent one.
Yep.
But
So
it doesn't matter.
It's just that one and him explaining bombing.
Well, that's backup.
And then that annoying trailer keeps playing.
Hey guys, go watch Militant Mixtapes, huh?
Yeah, please.
So Joe Matarese has been doing these lives, and I'm watching, and I'm thinking, this is pretty boring. Why did Hackride send me this? But you got to be patient sometimes with old Joe Matarese.
Yep.
Because he manages to stumble into, and I mean, this guy has had some bad ideas. But this is the cream of the crop. He managed to finally come up with the gold standard for bad ideas that he's
The
had.
worst idea he's ever had.
You agree?
Oh God, yeah.
It's got to be his worst.
His
But we'll get
ideas,
there.
his idea's been done successfully already.
It's
More than
crazy to have this idea. Let's not spoil it too much. Let's hear what old Joe has to say. So yeah, this is a man who seems to be losing his mind. And I thought we were honestly, Joe did the Porcelain interview, like sat down with Porcelain, and they released that, and then kind of disappeared for a while. And I was like, oh, fixing Joe worked.
Right.
He fixed himself.
Right.
But right now we're back in 2017. It's crazy. He's just teleported right back to that time. And here we are. Just Joe losing his mind in a live stream again.
How are you guys?
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
I haven't talked to everybody in a while.
Well, you're not really talking to us now, so.
All the comments are shut off on all my social media.
Joe, why are you doing that?
A couple swings, a couple misses. What you gonna do, you know? How's the meds working, Joe? Drinking and meds.
This is a grim.
Meds are good, man.
It's not good.
Keeping me from yelling at people. That's good.
That's us, by the way. That's us that he's not yelling at because of his meds.
Probably.
We should be lucky.
I would love for him to yell.
Imagine Joe said he said in there a couple swings, couple misses. Imagine if you had a 30-year MLB career and only struck out for the entirety of it.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to blame the general manager or the manager for continuing to put him out there.
He got a double once.
When was that?
America's Got Talent or whatever.
The first time he was on.
Yeah.
The second time, not quite as good.
Not quite as good. Like, that was like a double, I guess.
Yeah, so Joe, as you can see, is kind of in a rough state.
Now, this we kind of teased on the last Joe Matarese we did behind the paywall.
Yeah. Which you can go watch now if you like on both YouTube and Patreon.
Something we might be getting ourselves into.
Oh, yeah. So this is exciting. Guys, by the way, some of you guys might not know if you're newer here. Gearhead meetups are a thing, which, by the way, I was thinking of this because Aaron from Steel Toe is doing, he's like Michael Scott. He's doing the roast of Aaron. He's throwing himself a roast.
Okay.
And Keanu and Gino were supposed to go to that. Now, it's wild. It would be like if the roast of Alec Baldwin was happening today. Or like a year ago. Like when the Rust shooting was happening, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the worst time of his life, Aaron's like, what if I invited some comedians to roast me? That'd be really fun.
Yeah, and they'll definitely be able to put new things out in the world that haven't come out yet.
Yeah. So that's Aaron's idea of like fan appreciation is, hey, now you can pay to come to a shitty roast. What we do here is we have Gearhead meetups where you guys can come or not, but they've been pretty fun in the past. It doesn't give us any money. Just know that. Like, you'd be paying for a ticket to a Joe Matarese show. So just know that's what your money's going to. But usually I buy tickets for a few people, and the rest of you can buy tickets for yourselves. And we'll all go. We went to see Brendan Schaub. We obviously saw Tom Myers and Havre de Grace. We went to one actually good show, Matt McCusker.
That was great.
I'm trying to think. That's probably it, right?
Yeah, we realized that the good show wasn't...
It wasn't the same. We just enjoyed ourselves.
Afterwards, because like after Schaub, we all sat in the lobby and we're like, all right, let's talk about this.
What was that?
And Jon Stewart's giving us money. And then like,
Yeah.
And then Matt McCusker after we were like, that was hilarious.
That was great. That was an awesome show.
Butterly was so funny.
Yeah.
Like that was what we did.
It didn't work the same.
Yeah.
So Joe Matarese is giving his dates here, and he says something very interesting.
I've been on the West Coast in a fucking really long time. I do like coming there, but it's my life now. It's like it's in this radius of Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania.
Yep, that's how geography works.
Jersey, Maryland, Delaware. Occasionally, I drift up into Massachusetts. Occasionally.
Oh?
This fall, I'm doing some things in Massachusetts. I haven't been there in a while, so it should be interesting.
Oh, really, Joe?
This fall.
Now, Joe says we don't put our money where our mouth is and support him. I believe he's going to Foxborough.
Yep.
Great time. Nowhere better than Patriot Place in the fall. I'm sure he's playing a Sunday at 1.
Probably.
but let's see. We're gonna look into that. So if you guys want to go to Joe Matarese, stay tuned. I'll let you know the deets.
One in the chat if you want to go.
Yeah, if you're in the New England area or it's a reasonable trip for you, could be fun. Joe says we don't put our money where our mouths are and support him, but our mouths are going to be in Foxborough.
It's going to be the best door he's had in a while.
Yes, hell yeah. Oh, and I would say, if you haven't watched the Patreon yet, bring your kids. I think we should have a front row of only children.
Yeah. If it's not 18
I think that would be so great.
That'd be so funny.
If the front row was all 10 and under.
He kicks them out, and then everyone behind that's in the place is their parents.
Gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
Chef Lou, I know Chef Lewis will do it.
He'll definitely be there. He'll cater it. If it's in Foxborough, we should tailgate before too.
That would be fun. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that'd be a fun day.
That would be great.
All right. Yeah, so
Uh,
stay tuned for that. But there's more Matarese here.
Yeah, it's do an impression.
Yeah, so this is like Joe, for a while, was trying to make his bones. He's like, hey, I'm the impression guy. Here's me doing Jim Florentine. Here's me doing Tony Soprano.
Rocky.
And they were all terrible, but whatever. You know? Good for him. He was trying something. Now someone's like, hey, do an impression. Come on, funny man. Let's hear a joke.
Stop asking me to do impressions, okay? I'm not a fucking comedy jukebox.
All right, sorry, Joe. You were just not saying anything to the camera, so.
You do your Tony Soprano.
Yeah, you do your Tony Soprano, he said. Okay, Joe. Then I'll leave your chat and I'll go do my Tony Soprano. I'm sorry to bother you.
I'll go do a Twitter live that has more people.
I was talking to Box Eating Dad about this, as most of my good conversations go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, like, I don't know. I go back and forth where I'm like, is Joe just a guy he's frustrated with the fact that he hasn't, or is he an asshole? Because you hear stuff like that and he sounds like kind of an asshole, you know?
But also defeated at the same time.
Like, there is a way to do a show if you get trolled and just do it however you want it and not pay attention to the comments, you know?
Right.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world, but you could do it, Joe. I believe in you.
We believe in you. I can't
He's
wait.
such a fucking dick.
The tailgate idea is just terrific.
That's very fun.
What do you guys think about me doing a documentary?
Okay.
Shit.
Here we go. You might be thinking a documentary about what, Joe? You've had documentaries about you, so obviously not that. But what's your documentary idea?
What do you guys think about me doing a documentary? I started thinking about it. If I ran a GoFundMe.
Oh, no. Joe.
My career in the past 6 years as it's been.
No. Joe, stop. Stop what you're doing. If you couldn't hear him there because the audio is kind of shitty. Joe said, what if I do a GoFundMe to make a documentary about the last 6 years? It's such a colossally bad idea. And I'll explain why if you're like, Mike, documentaries are made all the time. Why is that such a bad idea? First of all, the quintessential Joe Matarese documentary has been made. 3 of them, actually.
Sure has.
If you haven't seen them, go check out Porcelain. An Inconvenient Goof is the first one. Medicaid? I can't remember the names of the others. But go check out Porcelain on YouTube, and you will find 3 Joe Matarese documentaries. And what's interesting about those is it's a guy whose real name we don't even know, who we didn't have to give money to, who just made a documentary for free and put it out on YouTube, and it got a shit ton of views, even though we didn't know who the subject was. Now, you may be... Craig, are you a documentary guy?
I am a documentary guy.
Name a recent one that you've watched.
Shit. There's so many. There's like Making a Murderer. There's
Okay. Boy, you seem like a real documentary guy. You've picked the most famous documentary that's pretty much ever been made. The most watched documentary. I could tell you're...
Oh, the last one.
Yeah.
There's a mob one that just came out. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Kill City or something on Netflix.
What's it about?
It's about catching the mob and like taping them when they don't know it.
Catching the mob and taping them?
Yeah.
Let me throw this idea at you. What if I did a documentary about wiretapping the mafia? It'd be kind of like that idea. But it would be me doing it. It would be just like a worse version of that.
Yeah.
Do you think that'd be good?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Tiger King, that's another one.
Oh, Tiger King, perfect example. What if I did a documentary about Joe Exotic? And you guys give me money to do it. Like you go watch the Joe Exotic documentary right now. You've probably already seen it. It was very popular. But then what if I did one? And it was just a different title and it was worse quality, and you guys gave me money for it. Would that be something you might be interested in?
We make honestly, it's the summer, so we're not, but we kind of make like a semi-documentary every week.
Yeah, I mean, like,
why are you laughing?
I don't like to call it that because it doesn't take nearly as much work as an actual documentary, but it's documentary adjacent.
It's semi-doc.
It's documentary style, I guess you could say, and it takes me several hours, and I do one every week.
Oh, actually, so you might want to be into this one. I forget what it's called, but it was a documentary about this guy who has over 1,000 kids because he like spams and frauds sperm banks.
Yep.
So,
I was hearing about that actually.
It's kind of wild.
I've heard people talk about that documentary. Now let me throw this at you.
Okay.
What if there was a documentary about that very subject, but I did it?
Ooh, interesting.
And you guys, tossed me a couple bucks.
We started GoFundMe.
It's amazing. What's amazing about this is it's amazing that people don't get the idea of crowdfunding, where literally you can super chat me right now, and people do it. I'm not saying I make crazy money, but you're welcome to super chat me right now. You can also subscribe to my Patreon. I think people do it because they don't feel like there's a gun to their head.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing that people don't understand that concept.
Mm.
All right, so let's hear more about this fucking documentary. What a terrible idea, Joe.
From the porcelain docks to the red bar stuff to all these other podcasts that become a genre now.
Oh, you mean so exactly like the porcelain documentary?
Someone actually chatted earlier. I can't find it right now, but they said it's called the Matarese. Which,
the Matarese.
Yeah, which I enjoy a lot.
What? He's like, hey, what if I did a documentary about my life after the porcelain documentary? You know who actually did that? Porcelain. He did a follow-up documentary.
He did twice.
Yep.
It's like a genre for podcasters now.
I hate that Joe thinks that of himself. Like, listen.
Would people
credit to Joe for being interesting enough for us to talk about? I guess he can hang his head on that. I hate the idea that he's like, oh, I'm so fucking interesting that I'm a genre of podcasting. I guess. Like, Joe, if you died tomorrow, we'd just talk about someone else. It's not that big a deal.
I don't even know if we'd bring it up.
We have other subjects we can't get to because I have to talk about you.
donate? Because it costs a lot of money to make it. I would want to make a good documentary.
Well, that's a nice goal. That's a nifty goal for you there, Joe.
But don't do, with Total Recall again.
Well, here's actually, you know what? I made a silly analogy before. I said, like, hey, what if we made Making a Murderer, but just I did it? I do have to throw the twist in. What if I made Making a Murderer, just the same documentary, but I actually took all the interesting parts out?
Ooh.
Like, I don't talk about like the conspiracy, the idea that it might have been someone else. I don't talk about Stephen Avery being not guilty for his first murder. I don't mention any of that. I just literally talk about the facts in a serious manner. Joe's like, hey, what if I did a documentary that's not making fun of me at all? I just told you how I'm doing. Oh, so we get the experience of knowing you? Who wants that?
Oh, I do.
I truly don't.
Your favorite thing in the world, Justin Trudell's super chat, $2.
Now that guy gets comedy.
He said tailgate in Foxborough with eyes and burgers and dog. He'd be all about it.
That's true, and I bet I would like Justin's cooking, so he's welcome to join.
I got a mobile Blackstone. We can do this.
I like it. I'm in. Now, Joe might hear this and cancel his gig. I would say, Joe, we're not going to heckle you. We're paying money to see you, asshole. Don't cancel it.
Our motto is observe and report, Joe. We won't.
It will be the most tickets you've sold in a decent amount of time. I'm not saying. By the way, that's 10 tickets. So I'm not saying expect a lot, but.
And if he cancels the show, we'll still do a tailgate somewhere.
Yeah, we'll just go in honor of Joe Matarese.
That's right.
It's to be an interview style. All about from the night I did the show with Artie Lang, Jim Norton, and Anthony Cumia, because that's when it all started that night.
I remember. Where did I see this?
The first porcelain doc.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It was the porcelain. It was the documentary made about Joe Matarese. That's right. That's where I saw it.
And then it goes into a deep study of why I get targeted. Show a little bit of that.
Oh, that's really interesting, Joe. Turn the camera on us.
Yeah, and he'll absolutely show the right reasons.
That's really, you know what? You know what I think will happen if Joe does make this documentary? I'm goofing on it, of course, but that's what we do here. But if Joe does make this documentary, you know what I think would happen? Is Mike David from Red Bar would watch it, and he would go, "Oh my God, Joe, I'm so sorry.
That would be.
I was wrong. We were wrong, Joe, and you were right."
Documentary from the night it all started to now.
That's been done, Joe.
3 documentaries, but I mean my own.
Yeah, I mean, Red Bar and Porcelain did it for a long time, and then we've kind of picked up the ball and run with it.
Now, what if we did a doc where I take the spot that makes me look bad and I just erase it?
Let me throw this at you. It's called Puff Puff Piece.
Showing everything that's happened and how it's affected me and how it affects other comedians that go through the same stuff. I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if I could get enough money together. How much of a budget you think?
Enough money. How much do you think Porcelain spent? You know, production. And how much do you think Porcelain spent on that YouTube documentary?
$0 because he did it himself.
I would think maybe upwards of 100 because he might have a yearly subscription to certain things to like editing software and stuff.
So maybe max 500, but that's just.
Yeah. Joe needs, by the way, he didn't say the number in any of these clips, but I happen to know it. Do you know the number that he threw out?
I'm going to guess $50,000.
25,000 minimum.
Oh my God.
Yep. Needs at least 25,000 to make this thing right.
No, he doesn't. He's gonna do it.
Someone said, Joe goes, how much do you think it would cost to make a good documentary? And someone in the chat goes, minimum $400,000, which I thought was very funny.
You need somebody who can shoot it and edit it, do a really good job on it. But I'm the subject. I'm the main subject. But there's a B and a C story.
Wait, you mean so maybe, and I'm trying to think about how this would play. You mean maybe people could also cover, like, I don't know, Stuttering John and, Ray DeVito.
But he doesn't understand that the main subject would be Stuttering John. He would be the side story in that documentary.
Well, people in the chat started saying that. They're like, if you did this right, you should make yourself the B or C story. And he goes, nah, my documentary.
Because no one will give a shit about him. He's just a dickhead who stinks at comedy. Stuttering John was on the biggest radio show of all time and is
right. That's an interesting idea we've stumbled upon here very easily. Is that if Joe did a documentary where it's Stuttering John, him, Aaron from Steel Toe, fucking Mersh. Honestly, that'd be interesting. Like, Mersh gets trolled and trolls other people. You know what I mean? Like, now we're going on some interesting ground here, Joe. Still probably don't need $25,000. All the footage you need is on YouTube, more or less.
I was going to say, he's like, hey, I want someone to shoot it and have it look good. It's like, well, it's already shot.
Wow. Imagine if we could see Artie Lang dying in crystal clear quality. Wouldn't that be great?
Next we got Terrible Idea.
It's just, we're like 6 clips in and I was just like, it's just so bad. I'm still like dumbfounded by it.
It rightfully so.
On a network, on a streaming network.
Oh yeah, he wants this on like this.
Like this right now would be in the documentary.
Wow.
This.
Wouldn't that be something? Can you imagine that? Well, now let's readjust our numbers here.
If this is in the doc, then you don't need money to record it.
Now that I know this live stream will be in it, I think we're going to have to bump those numbers up to at least 100,000.
200.
If you just take clips from YouTube and put them in there. Joe, why would this be in the documentary? Think about it for a second.
It would be the start of the documentary.
He thinks his life is the Truman Show. He thinks like everything about himself is interesting. It's like if I was like, hey, let's do a documentary on me, and then like this is in the documentary. It's like, so you just mean do your show.
Do this shittily.
I'm like, yes, but you give me $25,000.
Talking to you. Your thoughts?
Well, I have many notes, Joe.
Yeah, the men.
Joe's a fascinating guy because he constantly, ever since I picked up this pen, I can't put it down. But I feel like it really drives home my point.
Now you look like Aaron Imholt.
Oh, God. I'm sorry I did that, everyone. So I lost my train of thought now. God damn it.
He's brain wiped.
Yeah, completely. Let's hear more Joe. Maybe we'll come back.
It would be full disclosure. Everything. The truth. The truth. My version of this story.
Ah, finally the truth comes out.
The truth. Do you have a problem? No. All right, so the truth's gone.
How much do you think I could raise?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me. Joe hates us analyzing him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we give pretty good feedback. You know, you can listen to it or not listen to it, think we're right or wrong, whatever. But like, we give our thoughts. Joe hates that we do that. I've witnessed streams that have gotten deleted where he specifically names us and says he hates us.
Oh, really?
Yet he turns to the chat and says, what do you guys think of this idea? You think I should do this? How much money do you think I would need to raise? Joe, none of us have made a documentary before. How about you ask some of your friends that have done it instead of going to YouTube and being like, what should I do, guys? Talk to your peers. We've told you what we think. Have a fucking original idea and stick to it for a long time until you feel there's nothing more you can add to it or change.
This would be the first documentary, I think, that a giant chunk of it would be covering a different documentary.
Yes, yeah.
A good one. But, like, realistically, what he should do is go pitch the idea to one of these streaming things, and if it's good, they'll pick it up.
Yeah, but he should also mention Porcelain and be like, that's probably the guy you want to talk to.
No shit.
Maybe you want to hire this guy to do the documentary.
It's like, I need creative control so it doesn't get out of hand.
Maybe I could even get Artie Lang in it.
Whoa!
Boy, that'd be great, Joe, if we watched a man die in front of us.
Get Artie Lang in it. Bring him to where you are right now, you piece of shit.
Let's drag the corpse of Artie Lang out for our own gain. That'd be terrific.
The night that it all started was Artie, Jim Norton, Anthony Cumia.
We know.
Village Underground for the Fixing Joe pilot shoot. That's where it all began.
It's interesting because if I was in Joe's chat and I mentioned that, he'd say, God, you guys are obsessed with old stuff. I'm so far past that.
No shit. More eyeball. What do we got? Yeah, we got two of these clips left.
Okay, let's hear them.
More eyeballs.
Oh, well, Joe's always asking the chat because people with 6 YouTube subscribers are definitely the best people to ask. How do you get more people to watch your content?
Is this the one when he's talking about the porcelain doc specifically?
Yeah, you know what? I think it is, yeah.
This is crazy. Okay.
How do we engage all the people that watch the Porcelain documentary? There's 3 docs, right? And then the interview. Like with Kevin.
Yeah, it seems like it's been pretty well covered.
What was that?
Seems like it's been pretty well covered.
Like what Kevin Brennan says, it's like 700,000 views when you combine all those. How do we get to all those people? How do we engage? What do we got to shoot it on the?
I've got an idea.
We'll put the document.
You make an interesting product on a subject that hasn't been touched on yet. Now, the reason I don't have the same amount of views as Porcelain is because this lemon has been squeezed dry. Mike David and Porcelain did a pretty good job years ago. But I still find it interesting and like talking about it, and maybe I add something new to the discussion. So we get a few more views than Joe would on this terrible documentary.
Darth Nugs, $5. I would watch Joe's documentary if he can get the same producers that created Sharknado to film it.
That'd be fun.
That'd be interesting.
Documentary on Porcelain's channel. Joe's side of the story.
You did
Joe,
that.
You did that. You did the interview. Your side of the story. Joe, your side is out there. You have a fucking camera in front of you. Say it again if you want. You are talking into a camera to your audience. These are the people that will see it. He's like, how do I get Andrew Schultz's audience interested in me? Be Andrew Schultz. That's the answer. I don't know what to tell you.
This is the last clip, and this is him polling the chat.
Yeah, guys, put a 1 in the chat if you think this is the greatest idea you've ever heard.
I don't think I'm a failure. I got confidence. I built myself back up the last few weeks, not reading all your comments. I don't think I'm a failure.
Good for you, Joe.
Doing all right. All right, maybe it's a bad idea. If you guys think it's a bad idea, like I said, it's for you.
Even people trolling him are like, Joe, why are you doing this?
It should be done.
Why would you ever? Everyone's putting 1 in our chat. They think it's a good idea.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just throwing it out there to you guys. What would make you guys want to watch it? What would it have to show?
He's doing this in like, we just said we don't want to.
Well, what would make you? What would make you watch it? I guess if fucking Scorsese took over the project. That would be interesting to me.
We could get a GoFundMe for that.
If Scorsese's like, this is an Italian I cannot make interesting. I'm sorry.
For you to be interested in it, let me know.
Yeah, we'll let you know, Joe. We'll get back to you. It's a constant negotiation with his audience. Joe, fucking Shane, the bit we played at the beginning of the show, I've been a Shane Gillis fan for a long time now. He didn't ask me if he could do that bit or not. He didn't say, hey, Mike, should I release my first special? Should I film that in Austin and then release it on YouTube? Or like, what do you think the best way to go about it is, you know? Hey, Mike, I got fired from SNL. Like, should I apologize? What do you think? I didn't get to weigh in on these matters. I'm just a fan of the guy, you know?
If you got to weigh in on the SNL thing, he might be even bigger right now.
I think his career would have been ruined. I'd have been like, Shane, you don't give these people a fucking inch. You go scorched earth.
I do enjoy when comics talk to him and he's like, I know what you said.
Yeah.
He was on
hey Nikki Glazer.
Yeah, he was on a Burkcast thing for one of the whatever the fuck tour he's on. They were doing a podcast and that came up and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but that's a career you get when you don't poll the audience on every fucking decision you make.
Right.
Poor Joe, such a misguided man. And at this point, I think we're beyond. There was what in that last Porcelain documentary, it was almost like, oh, maybe Porcelain is helping Joe figure out his way. And here we are 6 years later, 7 years later, haven't moved.
He almost seems worse.
We're in the exact same place. Yeah, if not worse. All right, poor Joe. Well, you guys know there wasn't much on Alec Baldwin. I think we'll skip that. Case dismissed. Baldwin's free. So I think we'll skip that, but we do have to talk about Brendan Schaub's real quick, so we'll do that. How's that?
Sounds good.
Before we get out of here. Brendan Schaub is in yet another controversy, and this time it was covered by cracked.com. Is that still a website of any relevance?
No idea. Never even heard of it.
Neither. I've heard of it, but I have no idea if they're relevant, but they don't seem to care for old Brendan. Could we pull that article up?
We sure can.
And they seem to have a certain slant on things. I won't tell you. You decide for yourself which way they lean on Brendan Schaub. It's hard to decipher.
Where'd it go? There it is. Cracked.com. Not a ton of pop-ups, so it must be all right.
Oh, good.
That's how I usually judge them now.
Well, how about we read the title instead of giving your philosophy on it?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans catch the world's worst comedy podcaster stealing the show's jokes.
It seems, I will say, it's probably not the most journalistic website, it seems.
It seems like it's like a Barstool headline.
But what do they have to say about the world's worst podcaster stealing jokes? Who did he take from this time?
If Brendan Schaub could write a joke as funny as any of those on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, maybe he'd finally headline at Joe Rogan's club. Rogan, the undisputed king of all podcasting, the self-professed defender of comedy integrity, has made many controversial moves in his position as the nucleus of the manosphere.
Sure.
But for all the divisive figures ever booked on the Joe Rogan Experience, only one perennial guest has ever equally upset both sides of the culture wars. Brendan Schaub.
It's well. I like the way it's written. I gotta say.
We're
Brendan Schaub defenders here, of course. This is all ridiculous, but
correct. I spoke too soon. There was a pop-up. The former MMA fighter and current comedy attempt.
I do not like Brendan.
No. Current comedy attempter was able to carve a corner for himself in the Dude Bro podcasting racket in the early 2010s due to his close relationship with Rogan. And though the relationship between the two has been rumored to be rocky in recent years, Rogan gifting Schaub the opportunity to cut to the front of the line in the stand-up industry ruffled many fans' feathers as they found Schaub's persona on shows like The Fighter and the Kid to be grating, unintelligent, and unfunny.
I don't know. By the way, I don't know how rocky their relationship is. Schaub is on like Fight Companions and stuff. I think Rogan just got to the point where he said, like, okay, I did enough for you comedy wise.
Is he still on Fight Companions?
I thought he was on one fairly recently.
Oh, because this clip is not from recently, I don't think. Is it?
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
But I think Rogan just decided, like, hey, I gave you a lot comedy wise. Now you're on your own. You know, I'm not holding the bike for you anymore.
I can't defend you anymore.
Yeah.
Because before I could be like, he's this good a year in, which, you know, I'd like, okay, he's got a lot of confidence for a year in.
Yeah, now he's 10 years in or whatever it is.
Right.
So let's see the joke in question. And I don't know, you guys tell me. I'm typically of the mind that usually this is parallel thinking and not jokes. I think joke stealing happens very, very rarely, if at all anymore.
Especially with Amy Schumer.
At least from the perspective of intent. Like, did this person write, like Carlos Mencia, write down the jokes and purposely tell them knowing they were someone else's? Or is it something you forgot you heard and later said it almost unknowingly? You know, it's hard to decipher. But let's see the clip in question here for Brendan.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Like he should be jumping out of a cake. Wild's is the one with the Hulk Hogan skin, the hot dog skin. Yeah, that's him on top.
Hot dog skin is hilarious.
How funny is that?
That's the Tana's best looking.
How funny? Hey, am I right, guys? How funny is that? You'd think you'd have to be Glenn Howard and Charlie Day or Rob McElhenney to come up with something like that.
I have hot dog skin, right? Hulk Hogan looks like a hot dog.
Dude, hot dog skin's the best.
Brendan's like, I gotta say this a few more times because I am crushing here.
He's like,
hot dog skin. He was thinking of becoming like, that's my new catchphrase.
Right.
That's his get her done. Is at the end of punchlines, he's like, hot dog skin, baby.
For a while ago, it's beautiful.
Look at fucking Cowan defending him.
Go back. Let's hear that again. I want to hear that again because it cut off where Joe says, Brendan, how do you come up with this stuff? Where Joe's been in comedy a long time. I've never heard him say that, where he's so mystified that a comedian came up with a punchline. Where he's like, how did you come up with that? And Brendan's like, oh, that old line that I've been using forever. Come on.
Question ever. When did you come up with that?
For a while ago.
A while ago. It's beautiful.
That's how I describe it.
It's weird. I do have to say, I criticize Rogan a little. Why does he think it's so genius?
I thought it was very funny the first time I heard it.
But Joe's like, how did you do that? There was no quarter behind my ear. What are you?
Well, to be
how'd
fair,
that get in your hand?
To be fair, Rogan knows how funny Schaub is, so he's like, "How did you do that?"
He's mystified, and I do love Callan jumping in there. Like, my guy's been saying that for a decade now. He loves calling. You know how we're always talking about Hulk Hogan.
Congratulations. There's a few descriptions in my life that have really sunk home. Oh shit!
Hulk Hogan's hair. It's blonde and yet it's silken like that of a Chinese man.
Ah, yes. That is Hulk Hogan's signature look. Blonde Chinese hair and the skin of a hot dog. It's awesome.
Damn it, Brendan.
Oh boy.
I don't know. It's possible Brendan thought of it on his own, but he does seem like a Always Sunny fan.
That episode of It's Always Sunny is maybe my favorite too.
I just like the idea of Brendan being like, that old line. Oh, I've been saying that for millennia.
The end of that episode when Frank cuts open what's his face, the old priest. I forget his
Ricky
name.
Cricket.
Yeah, Rickety Cricket. He cuts open. He hits him with the trash can. He's like, "Did I get you, Cricket?"
Well, he's the trash man.
Don't you see?
Which reminds me, Stuttering John was very angry that people have been saying his sister looks like Danny DeVito. Which I don't see well. I suspect it's not a compliment.
Okay. That can't be a compliment, no.
Oh, my favorite, John goes, they've been saying she looks like Danny DeVito. An ugly Danny DeVito.
Not the good
And
one.
I'm like, well, John, to be fair, no one's like, that is a sexy Danny DeVito.
So hot.
Ooh. that bitch looks like Danny DeVito. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what Brendan's up to, but it seems like the guy can't catch a break, even though he's retired from comedy. All right. Well,
look,
that was fun, and that was a long one.
That was a long one. 3:16.
Should we wrap things up here?
Whatever you want.
All right, guys. Alec Baldwin is a free man, but we're not going to get to it today. Hopefully, he posts something on. He did post a video. We won't play it because we'll get taken down, but he posted a video where he plays "We Are the Champions."
No, he did not.
But it says watch this movie, and you go to his Instagram.
Let's see.
It's his latest post, and it was definitely after the dismissal.
My favorite thing about that whole thing too is the lady in the newscast was like Alex Baldwin. She doesn't even know his fucking name.
I know. Yeah.
Let's see. Alec Baldwin. Oh, cute picture. This isn't him.
I'm sorry?
I'm trying to find his
What's his most recent post?
There we go.
Yeah.
This is
what's the don't play it because we'll get fucking copyright freaking or whatever.
It's for Skywalkers, a love story.
Doesn't that seem like an odd song choice?
23 hours ago.
Am I crazy?
Very funny.
We Are the Champions?
Skywalker's insinuating that the lady he shot's up in heaven.
Yeah, like why? Maybe he's a part of that movie. I have no idea, but why We Are the Champions?
I don't know.
It seems like poor timing.
It seems like it's on purpose. Oh, by the way, guys, we are wrapping up, so hurry up and get those $1 super chats in real quick.
Oh yeah, if you want to be hysterical, super chat is $1. Or just go to blindmike.net, support the show. We appreciate you guys. We didn't hit our goal today, and that's something you're gonna have to live with, quite frankly. You're gonna have to look inward and say, God damn it, we didn't get Mike to his goal. Oh, the goal, how I love hitting it so much.
Bastards.
But that's that's your fault, and it's not. That's for you to live with and deal with internally.
That's right.
But you can go to blindmike.net, support the show on Patreon, or become a YouTube member, whichever platform you prefer, to get bonus content and early access to releases. Craig sometimes posts audio there, and on days he doesn't, he berates you. So that's a nice little bonus you get.
On days I don't, it's not when I'm recording the show.
He calls you a little bitch.
That's right.
He calls you a gay little bitch.
That's right.
And he pitches your nipples.
Gay stuff coming, guys.
Yeah.
Get on the Patreon. Gay stuff coming.
He pitches your nipples and says, "What are you queer? You gonna complain about audio, pussy?" So you can do that on Patreon or YouTube members, or you can support the show for free wherever you get podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button, baby. Leave a comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell. All that stuff helps the algorithm in all sorts of different ways. It helps us find more people that might like the show. So do that. Leave a 5-star review wherever you get podcasts. And that's it. I was watching the other night Hack Ride and the gang. Hack Ride, Electra, and some other guy watch Eric the Midget. And they do a very good job with that. They're breaking down Eric the Midget phone calls from the Howard Stern show. I think they do that every Friday night if you want to go watch it. It seems like it keeps getting taken down off YouTube.
Makes sense.
So you can watch live with them. To me, it doesn't really.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're playing like a lot. So maybe they're like, all right, this is bordering on you're just putting our content out there, maybe?
I guess. But I mean, there's commentary, so I don't know. You'll have to report to Hack Ride for your take on that. That's not my issue.
Curious.
But you get it everywhere. Follow Hack Ride on social media. Go to hackridethedemon.com to support all of his stuff. And listen, me and Hack Ride have our beefs, but Casey Day's a great guy, and he works there. So keep the lights on for Casey Day. And DJ Electra and all of our other friends there. And go to verygoodshow.org, which I'm sure I'm sure this is the week to subscribe to verygoodshow.org, where Craig will be plotting. I don't want to say it on my YouTube channel, but they'll probably be saying it on Rumble. Craig is going to plot retaliation in the name of Donald Trump.
No.
So if you want that, you go to verygoodshow.org. That's where the Proud Boys, they've stood down and stood by long enough.
That's right.
What's happening there?
We got Rubbed Out coming out this week, I believe. Matt said that last 2 weeks, so we'll see if that actually happens. But
ooh, that's exciting anticipation. Guys, subscribe to see when they actually release an episode. That's fun.
yeah, there'll be a new episode of Very Good Show live on Patreon on Tuesday.
Nice.
And then Wednesday will be the Rubbed Out episode, I do believe.
Well, go check out Craig's stuff. And like I said, they're taking a victory lap and they're storming the Capitol, baby. So go there to find out the details.
That's right.
Let's get the hell out of here.
And we have a meme transition.
Hey, it's Boogie. Sappers clear the way. Everyone all the way.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you listen in, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.